you already know what it is. Your boy Melly Mel, and this is the best damn sports podcast, period. This is 806 The Show. We got a fantastic show today with a fantastic, very responsible young man as a guest today. But before we go to him, you know the deal. Our co-host. So my co-host to the left has just been named as Kanye West's running mate for the 2024 presidential election. Your next vice president of the United States, Ari G. What up, y'all? Go Kanye. Yay for president.
Honestly, I think they'll keep him in office way longer if you're vice president. We can't kill Kanye. Damn, man.
Yo, who this person is?
Are we all?
What is the country?
That's his real name?
Did he even go to school?
Yeah.
No, he's gonna put him on the ballot.
We have no educational,
Look into him.
His job is safe.
And my co-host to the right will be running for the president of the Jedi Council. When he was told that there's no such thing as a Jedi Council, he said, yes, there is. It's John Sanchez.
Fun fact, there actually is.
It's a real Jedi Council.
Yeah, it gets deep. I'm not gonna part anywhere near that, but
I'm down to join if you're down.
they go.
Okay, I don't know.
You don't want to do that.
Jedis are not even safe anymore.
It's basically a cult. Because we're not in universe, it's definitely a cult.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm disappointed.
Well, shout out Star Wars
Shout out Star Wars and Jedi.
and Jedis.
And our special guest is a Salem School Committee member and serves on the board of Leap for Education,
Hell yes.
Plummet Youth Promise, and the Massachusetts Alliance for Early College. He's the former president of business development at Brothers Taverna.
Yeah.
A husband, a loving father, and a die-hard Celtics fan. Make some noise for your next state representative, Manny Cruz, everybody.
Thank you, fellas. Good to be with you today. Really excited to talk C's and politics and looking forward to catching up with my boys. I just got to say, before we start, I'm so proud of you guys.
Oh, man. See, that's crazy. He beat me to it because you know I was going to go in.
We're proud of you. You got me all blushing. We're proud of you.
We came a long way. Very
Yeah, we
proud
all
of you.
did.
Yeah, right.
And before we get to C's and politics, I did mention Brothers Taverna, and I want to say on the mic, because I've said this to you in your face before, you gave me and Johnny a chance when we didn't DJ no party. We had I haven't. I had no experience as a promoter, and you opened up your restaurant with open arms to us, and I want to honestly thank you to your face and appreciate it, because those were probably the 3 or 4 best. Maybe not best because it was a little wild, but
But that was.
one of the funnest times of my life.
That
So I
was
want to
so-
definitely thank you for that.
Brothers was so good for the culture of Salem.
It was.
It really was. I just the fact that the city became closer as family because we saw each other so often. It was such a special thing. So thank
Great
you.
times.
Thank you for brothers too.
I appreciate it.
No, thank you guys. Seriously, because you made it that experience for me. I had this vision that we would have a place that we could finally call our own.
Yeah.
Our people could come, listen to music, dance, vibe, see each other, catch up. And Mel, you and Johnny made it easy on me. I knew that I
Appreciate
could
it.
trust you. And this is facts, and I know we'll probably get into this a little bit later in the show, but you guys were probably the only 2 people that I could trust with the space and knowing I didn't have to be there because they were going to look out for me. You guys
course,
always
of
had my
course.
best interest at heart.
Hell yeah.
Fun times.
Great
too.
experience.
Family.
That's it.
And I'm sure we've caught many Celtics games at Brothers Taverna, wins and losses.
That's what I missed the most.
Unfortunately, we're coming off a tough loss with the Celtics. Unfortunately, we were in the finals. Successful season. I believe it's a successful season.
It's successful. I think
But-
so too.
So the question, and this is gonna an open discussion. What happened? What happened in the finals that we didn't go to parade this week? I wasn't gonna go regardless.
I was off.
I was gonna go. I'm worried about being in big crowds these days. Serious.
I would have had a good time.
So let's start with Manny. Manny, what do you think went wrong in the finals for us?
I like to lead with love. Like, we should start with what went right this season.
All right, that's good.
Yeah,
good.
Right?
Let's
Like,
go.
These guys came together at a time when no one believed in them. If we remember what December was like,
Yes.
11th seed in the Eastern Conference, 11th seed. People had all these questions about whether the Jays could play together.
Yeah, right.
Did we need to trade Marcus Smart?
Always that.
They always try to like. They brought that back up now.
They brought
It's
it
like,
up, yeah.
I seen like the Jalen Brown stuff online. I was like, this dude just balled out in the finals. Like,
No.
why I don't understand. I'm not a big fan
we-
of Boston media, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're
Technically,
going.
I am Boston
A lot
media
of
now,
Boston
but-
fans are going
We knew
too
media.
hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Too hard on the Celtics. Like, in 5 years, we've made it to like 3 Eastern Conference Finals,
Facts.
NBA Finals with a young team, new coach. It's like
We played the
year, coach.
Warriors, man. We didn't play no pushover team.
That's
we played
it.
a team with 6 finals experience. How many finals?
they got a lot of experience.
5. Yeah, exactly.
180 games.
wow.
Yep. Yeah, we're in games.
180
And he took
games.
him to 6.
And we took him to 6.
I just want to add that I got my prediction correct. You know, usually I don't get
once.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm not happy about that. But, so I do think we had a lot to celebrate this year. A lot of growth from Tatum, growth from Brown, buy into Udoka's system.
Yeah.
It took a bit.
Took
but
a little
it
bit.
It took a little bit.
Growing
But
pains.
The people that I hear criticizing the team, when I listen to the radio every single day, driving into the office, I'm like, yo, did you guys watch what happened this season? Like, we started the year off, guys were in and out of the lineup. That starting 5 had played 29 minutes together through halfway into December. Like, if they had played more minutes together, the advanced stats showed they were the top team in the NBA, both defensively and offensively.
Yeah.
And what happened when they actually had some time to gel, to buy in?
Right.
They went on a tear.
I think that's the most important when a team, like, remember the teams like the Detroit Pistons, how they won the finals with the Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. I hate that people keep on trying to talk change for the Celtics because what we really need is like longevity with
But
the
I think
same.
the problem is
the same.
we live in a city that like we want results and we want results.
Yeah,
now.
we're like spoiled, unsatisfied.
like we don't remember like
greedy.
people like don't remember in the '90s where we weren't winning anything in any sport.
when the tickets was $10.
Yeah, exactly. I missed that. I'm not gonna lie to that. I missed that. I missed that. But we live in a town where like we're expected to win in every sport. I don't think there's any other town. And I can't even think of one
LA.
that's expected to win in every sport, be successful.
all the time.
You ever seen LA fans? Like real LA fans, not like people that live here.
LA actually-
that
No.
represent LA. Like they're very passive about their sports. They're like, oh,
Right, and they win sometimes.
they win
They win
sometimes.
a lot, actually.
Yeah, right.
They're
I
not
think
as
It's
passionate.
the culture. I think it's
like
a lot.
the
There's
Lakers
a lot
won.
going on in
The
LA.
Lakers and Dodgers won the same year,
Yup.
and then they had what the LA Rams.
Yeah, one.
Actually, damn, they've won a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
But they don't even
and the
care
hockey
like we
team was
care.
pretty good, right? I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
we're like all over our teams when they're
Yeah.
not playing well. They take the long view of everything. But you're right, Mel. It is like instant gratification here. It's like if they don't win in the same year that you put the team together, everybody's already talking about.
I don't like that.
Say, all right, we got to change everything. It's like, whoa, we just made it to the finals, right?
Like, I don't want to change everything. You can add pieces
Yeah.
to build. Don't take it away. Everybody's just started gelling. There's no need to think of Marcus going to leave or any of the Jays.
Yeah, everybody talking about Marcus Levy. He just won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. You can obviously get another point guard or
See, that's
a
why
thing.
I was like, we had a nice little love session for the Celtics, but let's.
Yeah, we can get to the question. I know I did that
wrong?
politician
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
where
of
I
course,
flipped
right?
it. I wanted to start with the positive. But what went wrong in that finals?
They were young.
They were young, and Game 4, if you examine what happened in Game 4, that broke the Celtics.
Okay.
Being up at home,
Yep.
right? You got a great performance out of Tatum, solid performance out of Brown. Marcus Smart is playing well, and then you have that collapse
Yeah.
right at home in front of your crowd. And the Celtics had this mentality that we can bounce back from any loss,
When she lost that next one, I think it just killed the spirit.
right? And you got to think about who the Warriors are. The Warriors were thinking to themselves, if they lose this game right now,
Yeah.
we got to go back to our home. We're coming back to Boston. Game 6, Klay Thompson. Watch out.
Yeah. They were definitely, you could just feel it.
They were way more experienced, and it showed. It
So
showed.
at the beginning of the season, Adi, I'm sorry, I'll let you go right
you
after.
good.
At the beginning of the season, I said the issue is going to be that we don't have a true point guard. And though Marcus Smart, you saw his quote talking about he bombed in the finals, he did. But against the Golden State, it showed that we didn't have a true point guard. A lot of turnovers. You know what I mean? I think about a lot of fourth quarter collapses, which doesn't really happen if you have a point guard. Like, not to use Chris Paul, because that's like whatever, but Chris Paul on the Celtics, that's an easy championship.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday's our point guard. That's probably a title.
I always used to say that Drew Holiday is like the perfect.
Me too.
It's the perfect
Like
piece that we're missing.
You need a point guard who's going to dictate pace.
Exactly.
And that's what happened every single time we lost in the finals. Was it all started collapsing, and then we started to rush everything, and as everything started either falling or not, and that's how they live by. And you can't do that.
And with young teams, what happens when things start to break down? You go back to where your comfort level is,
and it became one-on-one
which is
again.
ISO ball with Tatum, ISO ball with Jalen Brown, and hope you score, shoot more threes than the other team.
Yep.
And this is the year that they came into their own as playmakers, right?
Yeah,
This is the first time you've got Jalen and Jason thinking about, I've got to handle the rock, I've got to facilitate, I got to find guys, and then you're doing that in the highest pressure situation, the NBA Finals.
Exactly.
And then when you're looking down at your guard depth, right, like who follows, it's a really bleak situation, right? Because you got Marcus Smart and Derek White; those are your primary ball handlers outside of the Jays, and then you had Peyton Pritchard, who after Game 4 disappeared from the series.
Yeah, true.
So I think that the issue is not so much do we need a real point guard. Marcus Smart has proven he can play with anybody, right? You can slide him to the 2. He can be a secondary ball handler. It's like, can we add another guy that complements this team?
Right.
Someone who can defend, someone who can handle the rock really well, shoot the 3. Malcolm Brogdon.
Right. He would be amazing for the Celtics. And he's available.
Yeah, he is. But are they going to pay
I wanted
him?
Murray pretty bad from Spurs.
That just happened,
Yeah, that going to the Hawks.
I don't really understand that trade too much.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, if they have Trey Young and Murray, that's a good
You
team.
got to see.
Yeah, but
Murray's
they're
such a
both
different player than
point
Trey.
guards.
Yeah, they're both.
Don't need the ball in their hands to do what they need to do.
I think what Atlanta's thinking is like there might be because Trey's Trey Young. He's scoring. He's gonna give you. They might be a little tired of the turnovers. So let me. I think if I was Atlanta's coach, I would try to put the ball a little bit more in DeJounte and have Trey see if he can play off ball. We haven't seen him play off
back
ball.
and forth.
Go back and forth.
DeJounte's more of an athlete who's going to attack though.
And defensively, he's
he's
fuck leaps,
well, he's
leaps
like
and bounds.
6'5",
He seems like the
7
type
foot wingspan. He's
that can
crazy.
adapt in any.
If you can defend, if you can get into the paint, if you can find guys, we're talking about 9.8 assists. Like this guy can play ball. And I mean, when you think about what Trey Young's deficiencies in his game are, defense
covers,
it's not there, right? So, I mean, they complement each other well. And we've actually seen in the NBA that if you have 2 ball handlers out there, if one of them is a good shooter, you can make it work.
Yeah.
As long as one's a good shooter,
Trey Young's
he's a great shooter.
almost 40% probably.
Great shooter, but he also takes a lot of shots. And I think this is definitely going to help him. But at the same time, I think
him being more efficient is definitely where he takes the next level.
I think they might even use DeJounte. Yeah, DeJounte, right?
That's tough. That's a tough name to say.
Right?
I'm proud of myself.
I just always say Murray.
That's why I said it. Everyone was like, "Which Murray?"
Which Murray are you talking
You
about?
can just say Jamal Murray when you talk about Jamal Murray.
I thought you meant Jamal. When you first said it, I thought you meant Jamal.
That's why I said from the Spurs, but
Yeah, once you said that, I was like,
my Spanish side be like Dejuante.
Dejuante Murray.
Dejuante Murray.
We got that adopted
De Los San Antonio Spurs.
It's a lot of Latin community in San Antonio. It's a big Latin community.
Mexicans. But I was saying,
He's right. There's no wrong with that.
It's true that that's actually the demographics. Generation.
but like I was trying to say is, fuck, what was I trying to say? I mean, so him going to the Hawks, I think they still might use him as another trade bait to pair someone else because they're also trying to see if John Collins trying to trade him away.
I saw the Celtics are interested, and I don't know how that makes. Like, I don't think we need him.
You know who I just seen? Bobby Portis. I'm interested in.
Yes,
That wouldn't be bad.
He's not going anywhere.
He just became a free agent though.
yeah, he is. But
He was a free agent last year.
No, right. He's trying to get the bag.
He's trying to get the bag. 4-year deal.
kinda
This is our
earned it.
chance while he's in the mix.
I don't want to pay him big money.
Exactly, but he did earn that.
I don't want. That's fine. You can earn that somewhere else. I don't want.
He'd
to
be
pay
a
him
good
big money.
piece. I think.
Yeah, we don't got the resources.
Yeah.
We have the mid-level exception. That's not
yeah.
enough. He's
who
going to
else
get a
is there?
4-year deal, $40 million. He's going to retire in Milwaukee.
Yeah, facts.
PJ Tucker's also available.
Ooh,
And
that is
he's-
a done deal in Philly.
That's a dog.
That's a done deal.
Philly.
That's a done deal in Philly.
Daryl Morey, that's his
Yeah, it's
boy.
a done deal.
James
Yeah.
Harden's been calling him since
done deal.
June. It's a done deal.
It's a
I feel
done
like
deal.
he fits so
He's
well
in Philly
with the Heat.
right now. Just waiting.
He
for
deserves to be. He belongs on the Heat. I don't know
He
why.
fits the whole what was it?
Everybody needs that
the
player.
Whole aura
Listen,
of the Heat.
the Heat have a good system, but it gives
whole
me
system.
like Pat Riley doesn't look like the happiest. Like he look like it's
He's
like-
never looked
it
happy,
reminds
Mel.
me, no.
Yeah, right.
It reminds me of
Even Showtime.
Belichick a little bit. Like, yo, you're gonna win in that system, but are you having fun? No, ain't no
PJ.
Pacers players
I'm a
having fun.
You're a
Spoelstra-
professional. You got to work. You got to win.
Miami Heat doesn't feel like anybody is having fun. Like you winning, but you ain't enjoying yourself because probably they got the 8% body fat
Yeah.
thing on there. Like,
Spoelstra's been there a long time.
yeah, give it to him. He's an amazing.
There's not
coach.
many coaches
doing
that have been
great.
on a single team for that much.
Especially he's where he
And he
started.
went
too.
up.
It
He
wasn't
went up
like
against.
he got fired or
He went up
anything.
against
earned
LeBron
that.
and won because LeBron wanted him gone. And Pat Riley said no.
Well, that's the problem with the league, right? Is that
Players
you
get
can't
whatever
really
you want.
build a system around a coach because players are dominating the locker room.
Oh, right.
But if you do find a guy who you've had success with, the longer you keep them, I mean, when you go through that rebuild, Eric Spoelstra's had success. He's been back to the finals without
With a whole
Braun,
different team.
without Wade. So, and that's attractive to free agents.
Very good build-up.
Stability.
And
Stability,
you're in Miami.
consistency.
Yeah, you're,
Exactly.
and you're a destination.
Number
No
one-
state taxes.
Have y'all heard the Joel Embiid going to the Heat?
I've heard that rumor.
I
Only on
mean,
Twitter, though.
Yeah.
Only on Twitter.
I don't
Twitter's
see.
always right.
I don't see.
Even Joel Embiid, Troel Embiid, I'm sorry, Troel. He said Jimmy Butler looked like he need another star.
Oh, damn. He gonna troll like that?
Yeah, because Philly should have never let him go.
But him and Bam?
Philly chose Ben Simmons, which is no longer there, over Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I don't think it was working out. Jimmy Butler's like
It worked great with
no,
that.
but
And they
like
had to
Jimmy
get ready
Butler.
to
It
shoot
seemed
him?
like the Jimmy Butler won
No.
out.
I'm sorry.
No, we
They
gotta go
chose-
back.
They chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler.
Tobias
I think they
Harris.
chose Ben Simmons because that whole team, if you remember how it was structured, like all that hype around
yeah.
Ben Simmons being the next LeBron type of player based on his body type, the way that he handled the ball and was a playmaker. I mean, everything they put around them, shooting, and then Joel Embiid not really getting to do the things he's doing now. So I think it was more about choosing Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler because I mean, if
Looks pretty dumb
True,
at this
but-
if
point.
he had it his way, he was going to say, I think we need to get Ben Simmons out of here.
But with
Right.
Tobias Harris is not going to be a ball dominant player at all. So that definitely is.
He's like
boy
a
got a
factor. He's like
bag
a
at
diet mellow.
A very diet, like a Coke Zero.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
like a diet.
no sugar.
Honestly, yeah.
That actually a
all
pretty
right.
bad name. It's like what they call me, Diet Mellow.
I know, right?
So leading back to the Celtics.
And he looks like J. Cole.
He does.
He does look like J. Cole.
A little bit.
So there's teams that like there's been times where people hit the finals and then like next year they're right back up, and there's times where you hit the finals and you kind of just fall out. So my question is which one do you think Boston? We had a team to go back,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I've seen many times where like, all right, look at OKC, never went back.
Toronto.
Toronto was a.
They won, but
You know
then
what I
they
mean? Yeah, Toronto was just like
They lost
all the
Kawhi.
stars lined, all the moons and
Yeah,
stars
yeah.
lined up for them that year.
Yeah, Drake was going there.
Yeah, yeah,
Give the
Drizzy.
energy.
the stars aligned.
Yeah, they got
that
lucky.
1 year.
They knew that. We knew that was one and done.
The way I think about that question, Mel, so I was actually in the car ride this morning, I was thinking to myself, I was like, the Celtics are at a juncture where they're either going to be the Golden State Warriors or they're going to be Oklahoma City Thunder.
Exactly.
In the sense that they drafted this team, it's homegrown, right? They've only added a few pieces that they didn't draft here. And if you don't want to be Oklahoma City, the story with the Celtics is, like, how do you build around the strengths of the Jays, but also their weaknesses? I think that they could bounce back. The issue with them from a mental standpoint in the game is when they have the target on their backs, they don't perform well. Right? Like if you think about how we started the season, they didn't recognize every team was giving them their best shot to start the season.
Yeah,
Because-
you're the Celtics.
You're the Celtics, and you've
coming
been
up.
there. You've been the guys. They've been watching you. They want to get over on you. They don't forget that you've beaten them, and they hate Boston.
Right.
Plain and simply, every single one of those guys. So I think that the Celtics having a strong start to the beginning of the season is really important. That means that they got to bring some veterans in. Like you cannot ride back with these young bucks. I was so happy at the trade deadline when they got rid of all those young
sometimes,
guys.
sometimes it's not about picking people up. Sometimes you gotta let.
No, who
certain
was that
people
cat
go.
that we had for like 3 years and played like 15 games? He was like a mid round pick too.
Oh, Langford?
Carson Edwards.
No, Romeo Langford.
Romeo Langford, yeah.
I forgot he was on the squad, but he's still on the roster. Get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took him too long, and I think
It did take him too long. I don't even know where he went.
Cares.
nobody cares.
Exactly.
Good riddance.
I think we sent him to San Antonio, actually, now that I think about it.
with Derek White.
Yep. So I think that what the Celtics really need is to think about guys that are between that age of 25 and 34. Like, you need to get more of those guys on this team, especially coming off the bench, because what we saw in the finals, I mean, we were, 2.5 games away from winning it all.
Yeah.
2.5
Real
games.
close.
Little pieces.
If we can continue playing the same defense as we did at the end of the season.
What rumors? I said Crowder. I've heard Crowder coming
It
back.
was funny.
Yeah.
In
It wouldn't be
2K,
bad. It wouldn't be bad.
I decided
That
to
would be pretty good.
make a league with the Celtics, and I ended up picking up Jay Crowder. I thought he was a good piece to bring back, because he actually, I feel like he got a little better going to Phoenix.
It may be some like Robert Williams insurance, and something that might.
How do you guys feel about Ricky Rubio off the bench?
So
Wow.
He's an option right now, and
he is if you use the traded player exception. So we got that $17 million from getting rid of Evan Fournier. So I mean, there's
Ricky
a few
Rubio
guys that you.
My
can use
worry about Ricky Rubio is that who's the guy who
A bad
that.
injury.
He had a torn ACL.
yeah. My problem was that he's not the same thing we just did with Teague. Isn't that the same thing? Like an old veteran point guard.
yeah, but
You know what I mean? Like
Teague was more of a scorer than Rubio is. Rubio is
like a
more.
Dragic.
Yeah.
Dragic is going to Dallas.
Dragic would
He's
be
going to
great.
Dallas.
Dallas.
He's
Yeah.
going to Dallas.
Yeah, he belongs there.
Of course.
They're already tampering in Slovenia.
So well.
One of the last episodes I mentioned how like certain players just belong to certain teams. You can just see it. Like Donovan Mitchell kind of looks like a Miami Heat player.
He does.
Because he looks like Dwayne Wade. When he's out there on the court.
Yeah. He
Honestly,
does.
Similar playing
Yeah,
style.
no,
He can
literally,
shoot it a
No
little
one really
better.
looks like they deserve to be on the Jazz.
Yeah, except Rudy Gobert.
Rudy only.
Joe Ingles definitely
Yeah.
looks like he belongs.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Jazz.
Yeah, I feel like he fits.
Gordon
in.
Hayward. I don't know why he ever left.
Gordon Hayward should have stayed. He actually looks like a Charlotte Hornet too. And a Pacer. He could be a
Because
Pacer.
Charlotte Hornets have Zeller for like 19 years.
They definitely did.
They've had both Zellers. Like, come on.
I think that the Celtics, as much as I love Ricky Rubio's game, you can't take that risk for your next ball handler to be a guy that just came off a torn ACL. If
Well,
you're
I'm
thinking
going
about
with
who they
six
can add,
man.
it's got to be Brogdon. I think
Brogdon would be perfect.
Malcolm Brogdon is the guy that you take a look at. You already missed out on Murray.
You know who's the best 6-man we could have? Marcus Smart. That's the best 6-man. If we can move Marcus off to the
Marcus
6-man,
Smart
he can literally be
with
6-man of the. He can win 6th man
He
of the
definitely
year
can.
and defensive player of the year in the same season. If you get a point
Give
guard,
him high minutes too. Still.
yeah, you're still playing them 25, 30 minutes.
But then again, who would be the person to fill that role? That's the problem.
Brogdon gets you close if you sub him and Marcus out. I still think you have Marcus start and you get a guy like Brogdon off the bench, and that really completes the Celtics because Brogdon's defense,
Yeah.
it's up there.
But what's it got to take to get Brogdon?
Yeah.
Well, right now you have the traded player exception. They just brought in Halliburton, right? So that's their guy right now for a guard. I think Indy's in a point where they want to rebuild. So you look at a package like the one that Murray was attracting. I mean, they're going to want a couple of first-round picks for him. Can I ask you guys a serious question? Like, who are you still holding on to from the mid-late round picks that you think that you wouldn't give up 2 picks to get Brogdon and a traded player exception?
If I was a GM, we would have no draft picks till 2030.
That's so true. Is that we got
I
what we needed.
I would always be win now.
We got what we needed.
We gotta win now.
Yo,
I don't know if
Tatum
anybody-
24, Jalen
anybody's
Brown
like a
25.
YouTube person, but I be watching these. You ever watch these like simulation ones where like they
course.
took over GMs
Yeah.
and stuff, and like they'll literally turn around a team in 3 years because like they're aggressive. A lot of GMs are not that aggressive. I would literally be win
I'm
now.
passive.
I'm win now. I'm not gonna. Let's see what happens.
I want the
I'll be
core
the
team
Belichick.
to grow together. That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah, so I think Brad Stevens he's being cautious, but he's also taking some good risks. So I'd like to see him go after a guy like Brogdon. If not him, see if Jordan Clarkson might be available. Danny Ainge loves draft picks. Let's go send him something.
Yeah, right. Yo, notice that Brad Stevens keeps on getting old Celtics players back. Like
He
he's
hated everything Danny Ainge did.
Yeah. He was just like I want like now talking about maybe getting Jay Crowder back,
Marcus
and,
Morris.
Yeah, Morris, and then who else they brought back? They brought
Tough guys, tough.
Daniel Tice.
I still don't like him.
At some point, they brought back Cantor.
So Ariel, you making a pitch for when Kemba gets bought out that we bring back Kemba?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely
No, he's
not.
injury prone. He's injury prone.
I saw it as soon as
That
it
man
signed.
is
I'm like,
39
we gotta
years
get rid
old.
of this
The
boy.
Knicks are just like giving everybody the
They want
Pistons.
every point guard.
So we're going to
always
go
been
to
that
the
thing.
NBA draft in a little bit, but just before we get there, what in the world did the Knicks do? Did you see what the Knicks did for the NBA draft?
Oh yeah.
They just
I'm still confused.
They're dumping salary.
It looked like they signed like
dumping
three.
salary to get.
But you gotta understand, Mel. They
get
want
Jalen-
Jalen Brunson.
Is he
so
that
bad.
guy?
But Rick Brunson,
Yo.
he's with
I
the Knicks.
understand what's going on. Rick
So-
Brunson's
right.
an assistant coach.
But-
No, but
Is
Jalen.
he?
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson.
He's working in New York.
GM.
Jalen.
Yeah.
Jalen. Wow. Good for him. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know
Shout
it was
out
that high of a
Salem.
role.
Shout out
I
Salem.
knew he was in the front office.
He's in the front
still don't like
office. He's right there with
So I
them.
see why. But it's just like, I could see it. It's like, oh, this is going to blow up in your face, New York.
I know
Like,
Jalen Brunson is that
nice.
guy. I don't
I
know.
guess they're saying that like
not that much money.
He's got held back a little bit because you're playing with the most ball dominant player in the NBA,
Oh,
which is
of course.
Luka. And he still averaged, 16, 17 points a game?
and 30 without him.
Yeah. Have you seen him? Do you
So
see him in
you're
the
really
playoffs?
counting.
He did amazing in the playoffs.
He did.
And when people perform like that,
Would you give him $100 million?
No.
$100 million for how long?
4 years, $100 million. That's what, that's what
Not out of my pocket.
that's what New York is going to pay him.
But he has potential to be a star in New York.
I think he's
Not a superstar, but a
he's in the
star.
category
There
of
we
a guy
go.
like
We'll go with
Fred
that.
Van Fleet, right?
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
the prototype that they're looking at.
Yeah.
He can shoot the three. He can defend. He can control the tempo. You think about what Julius Randle needs. He needs a guy who can set him up.
He's get out of there.
Right. Julius Randle, yeah. I mean, he took a backslide this year because he got that money.
And he's like, I don't want to be here.
Well, that's the third option being used as the number one option. That's why he regressed a little bit.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett did take a step up, but
Which is what you wanted.
But they just messed it up by not paying him. Now he's going to be upset.
Can't Reddish step on the court at all?
They got to wait until
They
they get
gotta let him
Brunson
go.
in first, and then they'll take care of the guys with the contracts they want.
I think Jalen Brunson will have his best year if he goes to the Knicks.
Because it's the Knicks and they'll give you the ball and say, what are you doing?
No, but like,
Statistically,
not gonna win.
see him on do you see him on Dallas?
Are they
They
going to
did,
win?
But that's on a winning team. I feel
they
like
gonna win?
he's going to be
Is New
somebody.
York's a playoff team next year?
No. If they are, they're out the first
I don't
round.
know. That's a hard question because like 2 years
It's
ago,
a
it was the
hard
same
question.
team and they were a playoff team.
But I didn't think they'll be.
That's because we backslid in the division and the conference. But
also their defense completely did a 180. It was like they were one of the best defensive teams in the league, and then
They had
went
a lot of injuries.
One of the worst defensive teams out of nowhere.
yeah, Tibbs was running them dry.
yeah, right.
Don't play
They're
in
ass
minutes.
team. Exactly. Derrick Rose was like, "Why do my knees hurt again?"
They're trying to get rid of everyone. That got
I
rid of-
wouldn't be mad at Rose on Boston.
I would
that's
love
another
that.
I wouldn't be
solid
mad at that. I think it'll be
pickup.
solid.
And
They're
it
talking
wouldn't
about
be
getting-
as expensive as all the other people.
They're talking about trading them to Sacramento or something like that.
Why?
That's where people die.
That's where people go to die.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
that's
yeah.
a risk. That's a risk for him, and I wouldn't go there if I was Derrick Rose.
The Knicks are just getting rid of everybody. I think Burns.
they want the
Noel-
money. They want the money for.
They had to clear $30 million in cap space to offer him the $25 per year for the 4 years. So that's
I don't want to. I don't want to
that's the
give him
last move.
$100 million, man.
I wouldn't. But if you're the Knicks, I would.
But let's see what happens.
I'd
If he
invest
gets
in,
there
if I
and
was
does
the
great-
Knicks, I'd invest in it.
Listen, if it works out, awesome. But when does it ever work out for the Knicks?
For the Knicks,
Yeah, they're still missing other pieces.
Yeah, they got the worst luck in the
that's
league.
that's a
They
good
really
piece
do.
to bring in, but you still need more than that.
And that goes all your cap. Most of it, unless you get rid of.
Yeah, you got Mitchell down the line. They're gonna extend him after they sign Brunson.
If they get Donovan Mitchell, then that's quite the team.
I doubt they're going to get them.
I doubt they're gonna get him.
I was talking about Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, damn.
Which
But
I actually
it's a whole
really
difference.
fuck with. I like Mitchell Robinson a lot.
He's good.
He's a good guy.
He's solid for them. I think
Yeah.
He does his role. That's all you need to ask for.
that's all you need. And if you think about their point guard situation last year, that was probably what defined their season, was the fact that they didn't have a guy who could really lead Tibbs' system. Jalen, you got to remember, he's still young.
Very
Right.
young.
Right?
But that's why I feel like his potential is like
National
huge.
champ too. He won
Yeah.
a title in college.
I think his potential is great. I agree with Ari. I think it's a good move for them. It hurts Dallas, which is great for the rest of the league.
I think it's
because-
high risk, high reward.
Who did he just pick up?
It's someone.
I think I think it's high risk. Like
That was about to get somebody. I think European.
unless he's averaging 25, like
Dragic.
Yeah, right.
Dragic.
Brunson
I really
out.
like Dragic.
Yeah,
Dragic in.
Yeah, right. Really, boy, like the Raptors in Dallas are always the super European international team.
With Spurs too.
Oh yeah, Spurs too. Yeah, they always.
what's
got
the Spurs doing? I mean, getting rid of more. Are they just blowing it up?
I think they're rebuilding.
I think they
They are.
rebuild it because Pop.
And I'm surprised Pop is still sticking around during the rebuild.
That'd be a good flip. What's the assistant coach's name? It's a female coach.
Becky
Not there
Hammond,
anymore.
She's not there no more.
In WNBA now.
Yeah.
head coach.
Head coach though.
She's just.
I think from what I hear, I don't pay attention too much, but from what I hear, they're running through the damn league.
Oh, okay. But
They're running
that
through.
would have
Like,
been a good
I
change.
think she plays for I think she coaches Las Vegas or something, and they're just running through.
Imagine
everybody.
after Pop.
I'm not sure though.
It would have been her, and then a whole change of.
I don't know. I feel like San Antonio doesn't really know what they want to do either.
They're just waiting for Pop to move on. One of his,
Remember, San Antonio got real. I mean, they drafted well with Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, but you lucked out getting.
Oh,
Tim
Kawhi
Duncan.
Leonard.
That too. Actually, they made a lot of
Kawhi
good
was
draft
good.
picks.
Yeah, she's coaching the Aces, by the way.
Look at the knowledge.
I wish for the WNBA. I wish New England had a team. I don't want to root for Connecticut. You know.
did you just say you wish New England had a team and you don't want to root for Connecticut?
I know. You know what I
I think
mean.
you meant Boston.
I know. Damn it. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I was gonna let go. Look.
Yeah, I was gonna let him rock.
The lawyer in me
No,
can't let go.
in my head, I was thinking like we have New England Revolution, New England Patriots. We need to forget Connecticut, make them into New England.
All right, so
guess.
making the New England something.
But ain't nobody gonna drive the Mohegan Sun to see a basketball game. 'Cause I think that's where they play right now.
I've never been.
I have.
Son, that was like the encore before encore.
No, Fox was.
Fox
Oh,
was,
that's what
Fox was the encore before
That's the one
encore.
I'm thinking of.
Part of me wanted to go to party with Golden State at Encore because they rented it
We
out.
kept on saying like, "Yo, we pulling up."
We were pulling up. It was right there.
Even though the Warriors won.
Get an interview with Draymond.
It's like, who let these guys in? We'd be one of those guys that sneak into games. Like,
You could be like fake
on the team.
Clay Thompson.
yeah.
He's
Just
banned.
pretend to be
Would I
fake
be?
GP3.
Yeah.
If I was Draymond Green,
Yeah.
I'd do what like Kobe did for a season, or like have cameras follow me for like and make a documentary. Out
I
of
think
it.
he's doing that.
He has to. I think
He has to be.
First
He
of all,
has
if
to
you're a
be.
high-profile NBA player,
With the
I feel like you
podcast
have to
he's
do that.
And he also is in that field too with LeBron and them. The media.
Like,
Yeah.
where in the world is all this LeBron love coming from Draymond? Have you noticed that? Like, he's been like
it's because they
extra.
became partners.
I
And then
get
since
that.
then
I
became
get
friends.
that.
Yeah, he really been appreciative of him.
Because you saw him literally agree, which I agree what he said. He admitted that they would have not beaten Cleveland without Kevin Durant. And that's crazy for someone to admit.
I think we also got to remember Draymond is also playing a game.
Oh, he knows.
He's playing my games with everybody in the league.
knows exactly
Him
what he's doing.
throwing LeBron flowers is totally trying to get into his head. I mean, the first thing that he talked about when he got onto the cast, what did he say? Oh, Kyrie shouldn't go to LA. That's not going to get them over the hump against us. After he's talking about LeBron and them would have beat them.
Right.
He's playing a mind game with LeBron, throwing him his flowers. He doesn't want him to bring anybody else to LA. That's it. That's what it's about.
Bring someone
You guys
to
are
LA.
fine over there. You got it. LeBron's
No.
You guys will figure out with Westbrook
Yeah.
this year.
No.
Sorry, Nick, you're not gonna figure it out.
Speaking of
Send
Westbrook.
Westbrook away.
No, speaking of
not
Westbrook,
going. He just opted in.
I'm
I know.
gonna
Trade him.
Prediction
Where?
he's gonna have a way better season this year than last year.
Yes, no choice.
He has
You're
to.
right. I agree with you.
No,
Because you
I
can't
think-
go any worse than last year.
Right. I feel like he's gonna get in a rhythm and like he's all set with I don't know. He's getting it.
He has to.
He'll get it together. I feel
He'd be an awesome
LA's
sixth
hard.
man, but he's not going to want to
playing
come
with
off the
LeBron
bench.
is hard because so much media gets.
Oh, yeah, in LA.
attack.
It's even what happens on the court, right?
He's a
Like,
ball dominant player. And Russell Westbrook is the most ball dominant player ever.
What you really need to do?
Triple double for a reason because he plays everything. Like,
Keep on
it's
putting up
2K.
some shots. You'll get it.
Westbrook, keep putting up shots. It
don't
sounds like
want
a
that.
good
No,
plan.
I mean like
Attack the basket.
not on the court. I mean like keep on
Practice.
practicing your shot.
Just like they did to start the season when he first got there. Remember all those videos, LeBron and Westbrook
yeah.
working out together in sync, taking shots.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, it will look
Then once
good.
you get to the game,
He
it's like
did have a bad season, but like, come on, AD was hurt for most of the season. LeBron missed a lot of the season. Like, it's not all on him. The problem is Westbrook played every single game.
I feel like
and
this
we got
could-
to watch him suck every single game.
I feel like this new coach likes him a lot.
It's different.
It's always kumbaya in the beginning before the season starts.
Do y'all know that his numbers? Well, obviously numbers kind of went down, but his statistics, other than those numbers, almost the exact same as every one of his years.
Yeah, really?
So it's not that he's not playing up to what we think he'll play at. It's that this is how he's played, and he's never been under this big of a spotlight.
Okay.
Because he's been on the Wizards, he's been on the Thunder, he's been on the Rockets.
Yeah, but he had a like second half of the
He
season.
had a bounce back. I mean, everybody thought the Wizards was going to go on a tear, at least
feel
make
like
it to the
this-
second round. But
Yeah.
Bill, like he's great with a shooter as his sidekick or as his teammate. Paul George had his best season with
Nick
Russell
Lanier
Westbrook.
is going to have to check himself in next year to the nearest
we
hotel
had-
in Miami because there's no way that the Lakers are going to be good next
in
year.
his last episode, he tried to tell me that Kyrie Irving was going to take the $6 million trade exemption. I'm like, so he's going to take a pay cut from $39 million to $6?
After losing all that money last year.
Yeah, nah.
No.
I'm sure he wants to.
Wanting
Get me
the
wrong, and
max.
it's a good segue. 'Cause I think that's where we're leading to next. Kyrie wants to be in LA.
Does he?
Yes. 100%. He don't want to be in Brooklyn. He
Or
signed.
has the media
He opted.
just makes
not
it
the
seem-
media.
yeah.
No, he does.
He makes it seem like he wants
He
to
gave 5 teams that he wanted to be.
and
be
4
with.
of them wanted nothing to do with
Yeah.
it.
You think he
forward
wants to
and
go
options.
back with LeBron after wanting to leave LeBron?
Or he wants to play with AD, which was part of his original plan in Boston, if you remember.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, because LeBron is only a couple of years away from Bronny being in the draft, and he already said, wherever Bronny goes, I'm going to go. But the Kyrie situation, I mean, we got to really think about this. Like, Brooklyn also, they didn't show him any loyalty. I would be surprised if he stuck around past this contract. This is going to be a prove-it year for him. No vaccine mandate.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
the fact that no vaccine should make it easier for him to stay.
It should, but he also
you gotta stay
made
healthy,
so many
too.
ripples throughout the organization that
Yo, this
they're
man,
not really with
this,
it.
You
this
gotta
kid,
understand
do you
him.
understand what this man was doing? Do you understand he was holding his own practices after practice? Do you understand how disrespectful to the coach that is?
Kobe-
Like, everyone's like,
if
all
Kobe-
right, guys, we'll see
but
you
if
tomorrow. And he picks his 5 people and like, I'm running another practice.
If Kobe did it, that wasn't disrespectful if he did it.
Kobe
Yes,
had
it would be, but
4 or
then again,
5
Phil
rings
will
when
be
he was
there.
doing crazy
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Maybe Kyrie's trying to get a ring. That maybe he's getting certain
Not
people
doing
like,
well.
okay, we're trying to practice even harder.
Whose team is it? Kyrie's or Kevin Durant's?
It's Kevin's. It should always be Kevin's, but right now
And
it's
that's
definitely
enough
Kyrie's.
Kevin because he never like takes the reign and be like, yo, Kyrie, shut up. It's my
they're
team.
boys.
Kevin Durant.
So?
Yeah, they're in a tough spot, man. Kevin Durant should be the leader of that team, but that
Should.
team is going to go as far as Kyrie takes them.
Facts.
It's the same situation LeBron was in with the Cavs. If you can get Kyrie to buy into the system and not be thinking about his next destination, you've got a contender.
Yeah.
But
Got to play defense too on that.
yeah, you do.
Not
But
too
Brooklyn,
much.
I mean,
I think
not
Ben
this
helped
year.
that.
Last year, they had a pretty decent defense. Then we stole Udoka from them, and you guys know what the story is. They started falling apart during the
Right.
pandemic. But I do think, Kyrie is a hell of a player. I think the biggest challenge for Brooklyn is they're locked into those 2 guys, and they don't really have enough money to
Yeah.
throw around to bring somebody else in.
Especially
and Ben
with Ben
Simmons, what are you going to get out of him this
We
year?
have no idea. That's the biggest enigma.
Back surgery.
Yo, he was over here fishing, grabbing big ass fishes. I'm like, dude, you're fine.
idea.
What happens to your back?
Right, that's what I said. I was like, dude, you have back surgery and you're over here fishing.
What is- yeah,
Like, the last thing you want to do with
If
a
you're
hurt
hurt
back.
and you're an NBA player, stop taking pictures of yourself in the off season. Just like,
Literally, it's
Just be like Monte Ellis. Just hop on the moped when no one's
I
watching.
love Monte Ellis.
Yeah,
Always love Monte.
Montel is one of the best 2K players of all time.
Facts.
all
really
time.
is.
All time.
Yeah.
All-time great Monte Ellis.
Somebody, him and J.R. Smith are just like
Earl Smith Jr.
feel like they're 90 overall.
I did hear Brooklyn was trying to get DeAndre Ayton. That might happen. I think that might
He's
happen.
not going to be in
No,
the
I seen
Suns.
him for Miles
Bond.
Turner.
The Indy?
You think Ayton is going to go to
Brooklyn.
Indiana?
No.
I just saw it somewhere, but I can't.
That, it's an option, but
I don't. Why would you ever go to
Suns
Indy?
feel like they could easily find another center that can
I
replace
believe
him.
when I heard
They
them
don't
say that,
mess with
and I
him.
believe them.
I believe him too.
They're like, for what we're gonna pay him, we're supposed to pay DeAndre Ayton. We can find someone who does the exact same things.
He's a
They're much
non-all-star.
cheaper. And I was like, I agree.
you have a Chris Paul who will make a Tyson Chandler into a star. Who would make,
Yeah.
who else was he with? Clint Capella. He was doing damage with Clint Capella at one point.
Yeah.
It's like these big men who aren't superstars, but with this kind of point guard, they're going to elevate you.
Would you get rid of Robert Williams with DeAndre Ayton?
No.
Oh, no.
I think you have to consider it, though.
I wouldn't replace him for nothing.
I would not, but I do see the value in
Until Robert Williams is like, oh, damn, he's
health issues.
health is too
but
bad.
His defense is just so elite.
But
He
I
has
see- I
he has
see
to
him-
stay on the court.
I can see him leading the league in blocks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, playing
Easily.
50 games maybe. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
the 50 games is the issue, though, right? Because if you think about what happened in the playoff run for us,
Yeah.
when he went down,
I believe
he
in
came
him.
back. He didn't look that great. And his skill set, I mean, I'll give him credit. He's improved his motor, right? But we weren't getting that much out of him in the playoff run. And
right.
I didn't realize he would be so unplayable against a team like Milwaukee. Like, he was healthy, relatively ready to go. Giannis ran into him, but he did look like a fish out of water playing against a physical team like that. That was bigger than him.
They're huge.
Weird.
was
I
huge.
did not expect that. I took the Bucks winning that series because of he was out, but when he came in, it was like that's what they needed like to play against. But Robert Williams, his offense is not going to be anything.
Oh, you need him for.
Exactly. But having a point guard who will drive, throw a little alley.
You can get Robert Williams to play
Anything like that.
70 games next year. That'd be huge.
You got to keep the core together. But do you consider a move like Ayton if
You
your
got to at least
thought
take
is,
the phone call. You got to at least
Right.
listen to that.
is your thought process, I'm thinking about how I bring a third star to Boston?
Underage can give you 18 and 10.
True, but you saw the way he gave up on his team.
There was something going on behind the scenes. He was not happy.
Him and Chris Paul don't get along.
No one gets along with Chris Paul because he's Chris Paul.
Yeah, he likes to yell at people, but like, I know the game. Don't talk to me about the game.
Right?
Say,
I'm
bro,
still going to blow this series, but
I'm late for my State Farm commercial. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, right.
Cliff, come here.
Clip, start at point here. Alfonso Rubio.
we could use Chris Paul on the Celtics.
Yeah, Cliff
I
Paul
want like
would be
before,
nice. on the Celtics.
Before he left OKC to Phoenix, I wanted him on the Celtics. And it's hard to say with Chris Paul. I could say we probably would have won a ring, but Chris Paul would probably put a hammy on Game 5 in the finals or some shit like that.
But we'll have Marcus Smart his backup, so that's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, as long as
I like that callback.
It was okay.
These guys are good. These guys are good.
Yeah,
I just don't believe we can win a championship with Marcus Smart as a starting point guard.
We almost just did.
I have a weird like.
Almost.
I don't want it to happen, but I feel like they can either win the championship soon or be the Celtics who won one and then became like that. You're good, but now are you going to be great again?
No, because that team had a very short window. Because remember,
They had a short window.
The
They
big
were
three
way
was
longer
window
window
there.
KG was on
We
the team
got-
for 7 years.
Yeah, but three of
the
those
window
were
was
hurt.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this team
They were old.
can either grow and become great or be like that, or like the Spurs or a team that are really good, but they're just not going to make it.
The old Big Three was literally
I
like
think the-
superstars at the end of their careers coming
Yeah.
together.
True.
And they tried to do that with the Lakers, and that shit didn't work. So
Well, that's try
It never works when the
everywhere.
Lakers do that.
Yeah,
You realize
yeah,
that?
yeah. Yo,
Carl Malone, Gary
yeah,
Payton.
that's so true. That's so true.
Where have we seen this episode before?
Other things going bad that year, but
Kobe
yeah.
Bryant, Dwight Howard,
Melo.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash hurt his back 2 games. He's like, all right, I'm done.
I tried.
And he still
I
got
tried.
paid.
Lakers always try. It never works out. That's so funny.
So
That's so mean.
we just had the NBA draft. I know the Celtics didn't. I don't even remember. I don't have no idea who they chose.
J.D. Davidson.
Yeah, who's just
Looks like a dog.
look.
Have you seen his videos?
Dude, what I see with this kid is Jalen Brown with
And Carson
with-
Edwards.
I see Marcus Smart tendencies. Young Marcus Smart tendencies.
Like dog.
On Jalen Brown. Yeah, he's a dog, but he's going to do some dumb stuff.
I say like Marcus
All
Smart.
right, so
mixed
he
with
needs to
Gerald
not
Green.
shoot the ball once and just play defense.
Marcus Smart with Gerald Green.
Because he completely.
Gerald
Not
Green.
Jalen Brown. Marcus Smart with Gerald Green. Like someone that could just jump off the freaking roof.
He literally just was a no-show to the end of the college. When he got to the tournament, he was like, I'm here, but
See, one of these guys who just got hot in the tournament, and that's why you get drafted. Those guys
he
are
didn't
tough.
really get hot
Second
like that,
round.
though. He kind of like bounced down.
I personally didn't expect Celtics. I wasn't expecting anything special from
the draft anyways,
draft
yeah.
for the Celtics anyways.
It
was a good pick for like, that's a good little random pickup if he makes the team.
Let me for
It's not a really great
people who didn't
draft
watch
either.
the draft. I'm gonna go by the picks real quick, just the top 10 or however far I feel like going. Magic number 1, who got my guy Duke alum Paolo Banchero, which I was surprised because
I was not surprised. I called it.
Yeah, because
I guess.
You thought they were going to take Chet?
no, I thought they were gonna
hate
take
you.
Jaden.
If you think about the Orlando
Jabari
Magic team,
Smith.
if you think about the
Jabari.
Orlando Magic team, it's like Banchero was like a perfect fit. It's what they need.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Thunder got Chet Holmgren. Rockets did get Jabari Smith. I think he's going to be a player. I like Jabari.
I think he's going to be great.
Kings got Keegan Murray, which is a pretty Kings pick. He ain't going to do shit. Pistons got Jaden Ivey, and that's who the Knicks needed. I think
Ivey.
Knicks. Yo, what?
Yo, the Pistons actually got some good pieces.
They got
Not-
a really
not just
excited
the
team.
draft. Yeah,
Marvin Bagley already on the roster. Picked him up.
He's got-
Cade
I
Cunningham
know-
looks good.
I like Cade. I like Cade.
He's
a lot.
got
a
a young,
baller.
the young
Kemba,
team needs to grow.
it's Kemba, but like they got Kemba, Burke,
Alex Berg, he's a good player.
Nerlens Noel. They just picked up.
They can have a good defense.
They could.
They definitely
That's
could.
the only way they can win is if
Yeah.
they defense first.
The
like.
Pacers drafted Benedict Mathurin. Was that the guy who called out LeBron?
He didn't call him out. He just kind of.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't
Yes,
like
exactly.
I'm
Don't
calling-
measure myself against them when I
like,
play them.
No, right? It's true. It's like that's a.
It's like that's the way you're supposed to feel, not what you're supposed to say.
You can't say someone that you never played
That's
against.
when you
is-
press Y or B when you're playing 2K. The response is not supposed to be.
Yeah, no, but yeah, right. Everything is good. That's how I said. Like the media likes it, but the coach is mad.
Team pissed off at
No,
you.
but like,
I like the attitude, but like
that's what I
bro,
like. That's a super. That's like Anthony Edwards' attitude.
Just Anthony Edwards.
But he was number one pick? No.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards was number one pick.
Yeah, it was number one. But that's how he should be.
I just
And
hope LeBron
it
gives him
fits
50.
his style.
Oh, you got to. You can't just be like. It's true. It's like I haven't even seen you
Feel
play
that
in
way.
person.
Feel
How am
that
I
way.
supposed to say
But
you're better than
like,
me?
Just pay respect to the goats and move on.
true,
Making yourself a story like Time Lord not showing up for that
Who
first
set
interview.
him up, though?
Oh,
Who set him up for that question?
I know. That's what I was
someone
thinking.
said it.
He's
That's
just
what I
like, yeah. Someone's probably said, like, how do you feel about LeBron? Think he's great? Is he your idol?
Let's keep it a
Man.
buck. He didn't have any media training.
No.
Yeah, right.
He
It's
came
first,
up. He only played 2K, and he always pressed that other button that you're not supposed to press. He should have said, "Oh man, he's the greatest of all time." You know, I can't wait to play with him on the court, learn from him, play against him, all those things. Like,
right.
All
Give the
those good
stock
things.
answer.
So I was gonna go around, and if you have a player that you like, you could say it, or if you don't, just pretty much your favorite person who's draft. Who you think is out of this draft is going to be the next MVP, the next whatever. I really like Jaden Ivey. I think he's literally a John Morant clone. Like this boy, like he's gonna be a problem. I don't know what about the fit though. Next to Cade Cunningham.
Cade's more of a slower, big type guard. So
He's gonna
having
have a
more of an
great-
explosive guard next to him might actually work.
He's gonna have a great second season, Cade.
Yeah, I mean, there's only up from here. You play for
Also the
Detroit.
Pistons.
You know what I mean?
He won 18 games.
Like, bro, it's only up from here.
Just win 19.
Any
it's a plus.
improvement. But I like his motor. I like Ivy. I think, if I'm getting this right, his mother coaches in the WNBA or played in the WNBA.
No, she played WNBA.
And then she was an assistant coach. She was John Morant's assistant coach.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And she was his uncle played for the Detroit Lions. And
Oh, yeah.
Some of his dad played
That's
somewhere
your
else.
whole
It was like
bloodline is just like athletes
It
like
was-
that.
from Detroit.
Royalty.
It was great when I saw them introduce him because they brought up all the jerseys of his family. So it was 5 jerseys. It's just holding it,
Wow.
like, this is
All
the
the
family.
Pro athletes in the
That's a
family.
flex.
That's all of us.
It's Detroit.
It's like,
That's a flex if I've
one
ever
of us is
seen
a
one.
hooper, a football player, got a baseball player.
Why am I the baseball player?
You play baseball.
Because you're not the football player.
How do you know?
You play baseball. What do you mean? It makes more sense. You're a good baseball player.
All right,
You-
whatever.
You met Nomar.
Josh, do you have a player that you had your eye on, or you think
I have 2.
maybe a sleeper? Oh, you got 2. So extra credit.
One's the obvious one. I think Jabari Smith is a NBA ready player.
Yo, this dude has shot 43% and he from the 3-point line, and he's like 6'11", like a 7-footer.
6'10",
And like the wedge jumper, like I don't want to say KD, but like
Yeah.
KD.
Oh man.
He's strong.
So I'm surprised the Magic
He's not just
passed
like
on
no wiry kind of guy. He's strong, and he's actually built for this NBA.
That's good.
Is his body going to get a little bigger? Obviously,
That Rockets team it'll be a good league pass team. It'll be a good team to watch.
They're
not gonna win
explosive.
For those 14 games. Yeah.
I can imagine them just like fast breaks.
Yeah,
all day.
All day.
It's going to work.
No defense.
Fast break, nice shot threes. But my other one was going to be I can't say his first name, but the Sharp on the Blazers.
Shaden from Kentucky.
Is it Shaden?
Yeah.
Shaden, yeah, from Kentucky. I feel like he's going to fit so well on that Blazers team next to Damian Lillard.
That Blazers team's gonna
And, like, people sleep on how good this kid is.
Yeah.
He
better be, because
he's
if
gonna
not,
grow into
I
a
think
great
by
especially for
by
the CJ McCollum's
January,
role.
if there's another losing season and you're not making the playoffs, I think at this point, at one point, Damian Lillard is going to
He's not leaving. That's happening. You guys been saying this for the past 3 times. He was about to leave.
He might leave.
I think he's at his limit though.
He's this is the last. Like,
This is the last. But
Remember how he was talking about McCollum, like watching CJ play against, like in the playoffs. I should be there with him.
He's
already got his mind somewhere else. He's
it's
thinking
that's for
to
the money
himself.
though. He's signed so he can get
Right.
paid.
So then when you trade to your next destination,
Still got the
you
money.
got the max.
not going nowhere.
That's what Bradley Beal's gonna do.
He's a clear,
Yeah.
like,
Bradley Beal's leaving.
loyal,
He is leaving.
loyal to fault type player.
I
You
don't
can tell.
think so for now. But if
More respectable that
if
way.
Sharp becomes
I will
that
still
TJ
respect
McCollum,
him.
it's going to be a problem. But also,
are you gonna be stuck in the same mess? Like,
yes.
great, you make it to
Yes, you
the
will.
Western semis and you lose again.
I can't see him doing it. I think Damon's going to leave.
Yeah.
If it's not this season, it has to be next.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's
He's
ever
at
leaving.
he's at his limit, right? Because he's going to play with Grant this year. He's going to play with a bunch of guys that have never won anything.
He's gonna play with some good players. Bradley Beal's probably coming.
No, it's not.
No, he's not.
No, you mean Kevin Durant, right? Because he put it on IG.
Nice little troll. That's why I did say
Kevin Durant was texting him like, bro, you bugging.
Yeah.
tweeted back.
Yeah,
Dude, where-
It's like, nah.
when the crop gets tweeted back at you by the player,
Yeah, it's not a good
that's
sign.
how you know you need to leave your destination.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
it's like
that would
reaching.
that would be awesome if you went to the Trailblazers and won a championship because they skipped him.
But I think Kevin Durant's petty enough for like you guys pass
remembers
me.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to you.
Yes,
Like,
skip
no,
me.
y'all picked Greg Oden.
Greg Oden over me.
Damn, I was so high on Greg Oden. And he,
I know.
I was too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
definitely
Like,
was my
I
guy.
was too.
And then he
but
just-
honestly, when he
injuries.
played well.
It's
Yeah.
injuries.
When he played,
You know what made me nervous about Greg Oden? He's a big man and he got drafted by the Blazers.
Facts.
yeah.
When has that ever worked out?
Yeah, right.
Never.
So bonus.
So bonus was
in the
old, though.
90s. Yeah.
He was like 32. It was
I heard they
messed
skipped
up,
the guy
Kings.
Michael Jordan. What was it?
They'll never live that down, huh?
Never.
Jesus
Then they
Christ.
get Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal.
They got LaMarcus.
Oh yeah, LaMarcus.
And what did they
Aldridge.
do with LaMarcus?
So send him to San Antonio.
They let him go and they tried to get him back.
They should have kept them with Dame, and it would have been easier, right?
It would have worked out.
I
better.
think something in the front office.
But-
something,
they didn't-
something
they didn't
was
expect
going
Dame
on.
to be that good.
LaMarcus. Remember, LaMarcus wasn't happy that Dame was getting all the attention in the organization. He thought it was his
earned
team.
He earned it.
He did earn it. He played like a vet.
What's his name?
I would never care about him.
Brandon Roy.
We win,
Brandon,
dude.
Yeah.
Brandon
And then
Roy.
Brandon Roy.
That's a bad, yeah.
The greatest
Greg
player
Oden, and LaMarcus
That never was.
that never was.
together.
They won like
when-
70% of the games.
They won
greatest-
so many games.
Yeah, right.
But they never played together.
The greatest player to never exist. I'm just kidding.
And bias.
Len
Len
Bias.
Bias, rest in peace. Legend.
I was thinking Brandon Roy.
no, he
He
played.
existed. It did
existed.
not go
No,
well.
like,
The
but
tires
think-
fell off.
But think about like
was such a
younger
great
generation. I feel like people gonna forget him
Oh,
like
no,
crazy.
of course. We don't
remember
know.
him,
No
but
one's
We
gonna
know. We know how good he was.
But you got to remember, like Sean Kemp, right? As an example, like YouTube will turn you into a star long after
Okay.
you've retired.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because people.
But if
you-
Brandon Roy had that kind of game that translates to YouTube, I don't know.
He's like a little mini Kobe.
He had.
He was smooth. He was smooth. I
but
think
he's
it'll be
not-
eternalized on YouTube. Absolutely.
he had a couple game winners, where legendary game winners.
Great games.
I think it's the story, right? Like he's
Yeah.
still due for his 30 for 30, playing with no knees.
He went coaching, and I'm pretty sure his team won a national championship as a high school
They
team.
won a bunch of championships.
That's-
Then he got shot up.
Yeah, he got
From
shot
that
at.
guy. Oh my God, he did.
protecting
Right.
some kids.
Yeah, shout
But
out
he's-
Brandon
he's-
Roy
He
for
made it out. He's
being a
right.
That's
hero.
what I'm trying to tell you. Like he's still got 30 for 30
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
potential.
yeah.
So
I'd
he's going
watch
to be
that.
memorialized forever.
Ron Artest said like Brandon Roy was the hardest to cover in the
I
league.
wouldn't imagine. I would. Kobe said something like that too. He was up.
He
Kobe
said he was the toughest.
Brandon Roy was tough.
A lot of people. That's the thing I love when you ask people who play the game.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were top defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will literally tell you the truth.
I don't
Like,
care about the
who?
media's opinions. I want to know the players' opinions on
Exactly,
other
because
players.
it's not going to be a superstar. It's going to be a great player that people swept under the rug because they're not in a multimedia place like New York or LA.
yeah.
Ariel, do you have any person from the draft you think is gonna blow up or
Mathurin. We were just talking about him.
dude?
You did pick him in the March Madness.
I picked him in March Madness. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought I was like, you're just going because he said
No,
something.
he's
against
really-
LeBron.
he
No,
really-
you're right. I remember you saying
He's really
that.
nice. He's really a bucket, and I think I think he'll have a good NBA career. I feel like the NBA these days is
Well, he'll
easier
get
for
shots in Indiana. That's for sure. Damn sure.
Thing is, I don't see this draft class being MVPs, being those all-time
but
players.
I think
I don't see that.
I think this-
starting fives.
Yeah,
I think Jabari Smith could be
very
special.
good players. Jabari.
So I think there'll be a
somebody
lot
I
of
see Lou pass it,
sleepers.
but that's what I-
Go ahead, Manny.
I'm gonna say it's Chet. No, I'm just kidding.
He could be.
He could be.
Because OKC.
He'll be all right. I do think it's going to be Jabari, and I'll tell you why. Houston Rockets. You've got so much opportunity there. You just got rid of Christian Wood, right? You've got
Shout
to.
out Christian Wood. He's
And
nice.
John Wall.
I want him too.
Yeah,
And I think Eric Gordon.
Finally, John
Eric Gordon's
Wall.
still on the team.
He's on his way up.
Yeah,
He's on his way
Still
out.
getting paid good though.
Yeah,
There's
right?
a guy.
Solid.
There's a guy.
I wouldn't be mad.
I wouldn't be mad.
Eric Gordon.
That's a good
That's
pickup.
not bad.
Remember, we got 20 points off the bench in Game 4. After that, it was like 6 points.
Yeah,
Over
right.
3
I wouldn't be
games.
bad.
We could use it. We could use them.
In the shooting, the 3-point shooting,
Yeah.
ball handling, Eric Gordon might be a good pickup. Or
Facts.
Depot. I like Depot too.
Oh yeah, he's trying to
he's
trying to go to a team to up his.
Yeah, I heard Sacramento. I'm like, don't do that.
Don't do
I
that.
heard that one too.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
We gotta stop
So
looking at
we're
Sacramento.
talking. Good segue from the Celtics. So we mentioned in my beautifully written intro to Manny that he is a Celtics fan and he's a diehard Celtics fan. So I'm assuming that's been for a long time. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around and say your 5 favorite Celtics players of all time. Whatever criteria you want as your favorite.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to hear
Top 5 to 1.
Just
favorite
say
5. No,
Just
Josh
five.
doesn't like ranking 5. I don't.
And then do I get to pick a couple of like that was really fun, but they weren't very good?
They could be their 5.
What,
yeah.
that could be in the 5.
Yeah,
and there's no
yeah.
criteria. It's your 5 favorite, not the 5 you think the best. Your 5 favorite.
of all time.
Yeah, so
Just so y'all don't take mine, I'm gonna go first because I've done this before where I let everybody else go first.
And we
by the
take
time-
all of it.
And by the time it gets to me, I was like, there's only one player you guys didn't mention.
what y'all said.
All right. Starting off, a young Tony Allen.
Wow, Tony Allen's a good player.
I'm gonna go. There's a couple obvious ones here.
Grindfather.
The what?
Grindfather.
I'm not calling nobody that.
That's what they called him in Memphis.
I'm not calling him that.
this is in Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis.
That
Go
sounds
on.
a little weird to me.
I used to love seeing him dunk.
Pause.
What?
KG. not you. Not people.
The timing of that was so off.
That's off the grind. File.
Wait, Tony Allen dunking?
Pause.
What do you do?
KG.
Okay.
Gabbing.
The next guy is strictly because of the announcer. Walter McCarty.
Yeah, Walter.
Love
I used to love Walter.
From the corner.
From the corner 3. You know, at one point he almost coached a semi-pro team in Lynn.
Did he
That
really?
Nick Lanier was going to
really?
play for.
You know, he was
never
coaching-
showed up.
he was
'cause he
coaching,
got
um,
hired from an NBA team.
Oh
Obviously.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, he was coaching for was it Louisville?
Walter McCarty.
Yeah. I remember watching the game and he was like assistant coach or something.
Maybe go somewhere.
All right.
Louisville.
Number 2. No, number 2. But the next one, Rajon Rondo. Ooh. And I gotta show some love for my guy IT, man. He bled for us.
Yeah, he really
You know
did.
what I mean? He
What
put his
did
soul
for
out
us?
for us. We're like,
Like Blee Green is like Isaiah Thomas did that.
we should
pick him back up.
No, there's so much
No.
distrust.
He's only $1.
no,
It's just $1.
no. There's bad blood.
Like a
there. There's
minimum
just- Some
size.
relationships are just like,
True.
you know, like you could be cool with an ex, but like you don't want to ever chill with her again. You could be like, yo, what up? You cool? Whatever. But like,
What he did on Twitter, I mean, that was the end of the door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Rob Williams thing.
Yeah.
I heard that before. Like, you got out there and played, IT. You got out there and played. You were in pain. You knew what your situation was.
Yeah.
And you suited up. Nobody forced you to go out there.
Facts.
True.
Who wants to go next?
I'm happy to go next because I don't want to end up in that situation Melvin was talking
Exactly.
about.
It happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with people like you guys haven't mentioned anyways.
So, top all time, this is like ranking for me. Because
Okay.
I got to go there.
Okay.
Paul Pierce,
You going 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
1. He's 1.
Ooh,
Number 1.
Yeah.
Paul
you got Paul
Pierce.
Pierce as your favorite?
My favorite
I don't even
Celtic.
like that mother.
I don't.
I do.
I grew up with him.
People thought I was him. Growing up hooping, I was like a slow hooper.
Your
like,
game was there.
When?
because I was like a slow
No,
hooper.
I
Like,
get it.
I didn't have a beard either. I didn't
He
have
actually bled for the city.
yeah, literally.
Actually bled for the city.
He did.
He
This is
gave
like a
us so-
sacrifice.
Yeah, he actually gave us a lot of great memories. I think about like the early Paul Pierce days, even that series against the Nets.
Oh, remember against LeBron when they both had like 40 something points.
Like the amount of memories, like even when you went to a Celtics game, I remember like one of my favorite ones was watching Denver Nuggets versus Boston. They went to triple overtime.
Okay.
It's just like watching Pierce give you memory after memory.
Yeah.
Like, you think you're down, there comes the dagger.
He was clutch.
He
too.
was clutch.
He'd make a lot of game-winning shots. Too.
corny,
That little
man.
step back.
He was definitely a chucker.
I feel like people also focus too much on what he's done post-career.
Yeah, that's probably
And
me.
They're not appreciating
That's the problem.
everything that he did for
I
us.
love Shaq's whole career. He's one of my favorite centers of all time, but I don't like him as an announcer because he's a hater.
No, Shaq's honestly,
he's
he's
been a
not
hit-
a good announcer. He's just Shaq, so it works.
He hates
It's
it.
a Barkley thing. It's him and Barkley. Without the two of
No,
them
those-
together,
they're funny,
they would break it up.
But like
Yeah.
he hates on a lot of like plays like all the time.
He tried to motivate everybody.
It
So that's my
was
one.
working.
Next would have to be KG.
Okay.
Talk
Yeah,
about
I mean.
bringing Boston back from the dead.
Yeah.
Brought that energy, the
Facts.
culture. There's no Ubuntu without KG.
Yeah.
And
Anything is possible.
I think exactly anything was possible in Boston at that time, and he gave us so many special moments here. You know, I think about
That passion.
Yeah, the passion and him holding that jersey, the love that he gave us.
The headbutt to the
Right, right.
It's a stanchion.
He
And
still
I-
rides for us hard, yo.
That's it. And I modeled my entire like game of basketball after KG.
There you go.
Okay,
Because that intensity is like, it's a difference maker in a game. So he's my number 2, and then this is just in any order.
Okay.
So I love Jason Tatum.
Okay,
Honestly,
yeah. Same.
I want to see
It's
him
hard
stay
for me
here.
to pick him after that finals performance.
We got to unpack that.
Yeah.
We got to unpack that.
It's hard to like.
He has given us an incredible
yeah.
run
Yeah,
to
right.
start his NBA
People like
career.
to forget, like, what
but,
they've done.
I wouldn't put him in my 5, but like, if he would have won a championship, he would have
Off his performance against
It's aspirational.
Kevin Durant in first round. Sweeping.
Giannis. His performances
I was
against Giannis
big on
multiple
saying he was
times.
a superstar.
Yeah.
I'm not.
He was that guy.
He's that guy, definitely. And listen, a lot of people have LeBron struggling in his first finals. Like, you know what I mean?
That could be his arc. His arc could be LeBron, right? You ran
Exactly.
into a buzzsaw, a dynasty the first time you went out,
just like LeBron.
and you grew from it.
Yeah.
Put up some strength.
That's how you grow from it. You like
Yeah.
As long as he grows.
gotta grow.
I just don't want him to already plateaued and he just stays
Young,
this
man.
People be young all the time. They get old eventually, and they usually either become great
does
or
not
they
like
go
Jason
down.
Tatum.
Yeah, right.
That's not true. That's not true.
His decision making is only going to get better.
That needs to get better.
That's just from experience.
Chucker.
Er-
like Paul
No, KD
Pierce.
when he came into the league, he was the worst shot selection I've ever seen.
KD,
KD,
but he was still averaging like 29 points.
no on the Supersonics when he first started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still averaging 20.
It wasn't not 29.
Tatum's going to be
20.
great for a long time. Excited what he's going to do in
1 year.
Boston.
Yeah,
It's got to be Rondo for me up next.
Yeah.
Love Rondo, everything he gave to the city. I still miss him on the Celtics. There are moments where I'm like,
it's like we need him. And it's like, do we need him?
in his veteran leadership.
It's like I kind of want him.
Not right now because of he's in a whole world of trouble, so he's
Yeah.
not playing in the
Yeah,
league
right?
anytime soon. But last year there was a moment in time where I was watching what he was doing with the Cavs and that young team, and I said to myself, "That's exactly what we needed for Boston." But there's
Right.
no way Brad Stevens was bringing him back because they did not get along.
No, not at all.
And then this is my throwaway person because, again, I just love fun. And Mel did it earlier with Walter. For me, it's Wally Serbiak.
Wally Scissorback.
Y'all remember trying to say that? Serbiak.
Yeah. Yo, he was nice.
When I
And
think
like a
of Wally Zerbiak, all I think about is that Jamie Foxx episode. You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
Yeah.
When like KG was a guest show on Jamie Foxx
he's
episode,
on,
and he's
Timberwolves.
but Jamie Foxx wearing a Walter McCarty, a Wally Zerbiak jersey, and KG's like, "What's up?" He's like, "Oh, they sold out all your jerseys. All they had is Wally Zerbiak." And that's all I ever. That's the only thing. When I think of Wally, I don't think about his career, any shot he made. I don't remember anything
I
about
remember from
him.
NBA Live. Like nobody was like it was KG. He's like, who else can shoot the ball on this team? It was when
He played that one year with LeBron.
Yeah.
He looked like a
But
wolf.
he was also like the human victory cigar because he brought us Ray Allen.
I like that term.
Yeah.
That was amazing term.
Yeah, right.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's no
never heard that
Boston
before.
3 party. There's no championship if you don't got Wally on the team when you're sending
Wally.
Jeff Green out to
Yeah,
get
right.
Ray Allen.
No, true.
True.
So,
Facts.
but also that name was just so much fun to say.
Yeah, Wally.
Wally. Was he like 55 or something?
Wanna go next?
I'll go next, yeah.
You all 5?
Oh, that's all 5.
All 5. Okay, you go.
Don't let me
five.
skip you.
So when I was
skip me.
one of my first games I ever played that got me hip to basketball in general was NBA Live '99. And guess who was on that cover? Antoine Walker.
Antoine almost made my list. Antoine almost made my list just because of the shimmy.
Just because of the shimmy. Shout out Antoine Walker.
Should have been on my list. You know what, Tony Allen, you get bumped off. Antoine's on my list.
Especially after the grandfather. Mel wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, that kind of completely threw me off. I don't like that name at all. Go ahead.
Sorry, Memphis.
And I've been to Memphis.
Next would be Ray Allen.
Okay.
Because when he was on our team,
Raymond.
I would copy so much of his game.
Walter Raymond.
For some
Allen.
reason, like I wanted to be the Ray Allen of my team. I wanted to be off ball, doing the whole.
People forget
He
how
did
there's
go
a lot
hard
of
at them
them.
drills, though. He did the Ray Allen drills at practice, and you was like watching Ariel, and everyone was like,
Oh, don't worry. We'll
gotta keep pace
we'll
with
get
that.
we'll get to some YS stories coming up. Don't you worry.
Oh, okay. Word.
People forget, but Ray Allen was nice before he got to the Celtics.
Yeah, I loved his game when he was on the Bucks. Like,
He was a
Sonics
ball
too,
handler,
yeah.
distributor.
Sonics.
Yeah.
He did everything.
he
drove
aged
and dunked on people.
perfectly.
Rivalry with Kobe.
Yeah, he aged perfectly, literally.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted as a shooting guard.
All the way to the Miami Heat, his last team, winning
He
championship.
still could have played after that.
Yeah, game winning. Yeah,
God.
I think there was some
Good
I think there was some
career.
family
great
issues
career
there.
for Ray Allen.
Ray Allen slept
Something
on
with his
because
kids.
he's
something. I think
quiet.
there's some family issues. That's why he kind of didn't
Yeah.
good stepping away early.
Diabetic or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
His son.
He was.
his
I used
son-
to.
That's something.
I wouldn't run into him, but like there was time I went to Martha's Vineyard. I went to go get breakfast.
I was like, you just run into Ray Allen.
No, kind of like he was
Every day.
eating breakfast and it was so packed at this breakfast spot, and I wanted breakfast so bad. I didn't eat breakfast that morning because Ray Allen was there. I couldn't get in.
Couldn't get in.
Yeah, I had to go make breakfast.
At least you still love him for that.
Yes.
I was like, all right.
Facts.
Yeah, that's how much I like
You
him.
made me skip my breakfast. I might be petty and never
Right?
like you again.
Yeah, right.
You made me hungry. Go ahead. Next.
Third would be
Flowers.
At 3.
Yep.
yeah, but third I was gonna say someone else, but I'm gonna have to say Bill Russell
Ooh.
because what he's done to the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Like just what he represents
Okay.
in general.
11 rings.
A real
Can't
winner.
really do it.
Can't argue 11 rings.
Really can't.
After that, I would have to say Larry Bird.
Larry
Bird.
Joe
Larry
Bird.
Bird, one of the most underrated, even
The
though he's
hick
a
from
Hall of
French
Fame
Lick.
superstar, he's one of the most underrated players of all
Because he
time.
didn't have a long career.
Yeah.
His back, well, it's his fault. But
He
his
was
back
throwing
gave
them
out.
bales of hay.
Yeah, right?
So,
I think I
why
had
would
a
hire somebody?
lot of bar fights. A lot of bar
That's
fights.
really
in
what it
Boston.
was.
I
I
argue,
handled a lot of bar stools
I had
in
to
the
argue
back.
with like a older woman try to tell me Larry Bird was better than Michael Jordan. The Jordan fan in me couldn't like not argue with this older woman.
when people say something like, you just gotta learn to be like, listen, as host of
Working at the
806 the show, you gotta learn to not just answer to every person who says something
Yeah,
random.
right.
Like,
Like,
someone told me
lady.
Larry Bird's better than Michael Jordan. I'm not having a conversation with you because it's not gonna go anywhere.
well,
Clearly.
I know where your mind's at.
Like walking out the room. Well, Larry Bird was better than my.
You turn around. What you say?
Excuse me.
Excuse me?
You could say when Michael Jordan first got to the league,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Larry
even
Bird
say
was
that.
better.
Adiel locks the door behind him. What you say?
Excuse me, miss?
Yeah. It's like, did you not know he has 2 3-peats? Start going.
Did you not watch his career?
Defensive player of the year, and he
he's going
6
off.
rings.
Be honest, she called the police.
10 scoring titles?
Can you calm
He
down?
played
sir?
defense.
Like, I don't care. I watched him play.
I was there.
Who else?
Paul Pierce, the truth.
Oh, you love Paul.
Yeah, because Paul Pierce is the truth. He was the truth. Our whole like what we know
Yeah.
basketball as the Celtics. Maybe I feel like that's why y'all ain't Celtics fans.
Because you don't
y'all
like Paul Pierce?
Because y'all don't like Paul Pierce. It makes sense now.
You know what? He might
You
not
didn't-
sound far off.
stupid.
I like the Celtics.
You guys didn't
but
appreciate if you didn't appreciate him as a Celtic, then
just done a lot of corny stuff to me. Like it's just no.
well, I
It's all
was
post-career.
Mine,
it is.
post-career as a-
My hate is definitely post career.
mine is I didn't like his shot selection. I didn't like it.
What?
That's the only thing.
he did such a good job. Like
He was a lot of chucking. Yeah, he made some.
I give
but
him credit
chucked
that
a
he
lot.
was the lone like. He made it Celtics relevant for like 10 years when
Yeah,
we weren't winning.
and you also got to give him credit with the shot selection too, because when you look at like King of the Fourth type of stats, like Paul Pierce
he
was
did, he
up
did.
there.
Yeah.
When it came
Definitely
to
a Hall of
clutch
Famer.
points,
I don't even see him
Yeah.
as a chucker. Like he was really a good player.
I never thought of him as a chucker.
I
I didn't think so. Either.
Is that 4
his,
or
his
5?
shot volume
That's
never
5.
got past like
That's 5.
19 per game.
Josh.
My turn? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
Oh, obviously Kevin Garnett.
For obvious reasons.
I'm also going to throw in somebody no one's going to mention ever, Marcus Banks.
I knew you were going to say
Marcus
that.
Banks.
I knew you were gonna like Marcus Banks is definitely on Josh's
I
list.
love Marcus Banks.
So I'm at bonkers.
So another thing about Marcus Banks is my first Celtics game ever was his rookie season.
Okay.
And we sat basically courtside.
Oh yeah, that's why
we thought
I almost said Jeff
it was
Green
like
'cause I had
between
a
him and
conversation with
Delonte West, and we were like Marcus Banks. got
Marcus
this.
Banks. So like literally, we saw his start of his career, and then in NBA Live, I scored like 90 points with him.
Yeah.
So like,
That was the craziest thing.
Overkill. Say this is overkill when he likes to play.
99 points with Marcus Banks in NBA Live. It's like, what, dude?
Be honest. Did you edit his stats so that
Not
he
at
could do
all.
that?
Not at all. He was just
He's
smooth.
one of those NBA Live
He was one
players
of the
that
cheat
would
code
just-
players.
Yeah,
like
and
J.R.
no one
Smith.
knows.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we found the cheat code. But Marcus Banks definitely. That's two right there.
He was a model, Like that's like what he was doing instead of playing basketball. That's why his career ended early. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Shout
either.
out Marcus Banks. You
Yeah.
know his name's not even Marcus.
What?
I forgot what his first name is, but it's not Marcus. He was in an interview before. I was
We're
like,
gonna
You
definitely.
know who told me that? Dre.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout out Dre.
Yeah,
he was
Dre.
here last time. Nice.
Shout out Dre.
Yeah, shout out Dre. Go ahead.
Who else do I got? So I got those two. Gerald Green.
Ooh.
Love Gerald Green.
Definitely.
Amazing player.
I was convinced he was gonna be a superstar.
Me too. It's just that we had
But
him.
I think it's a lot of wishful thinking.
He was just too young. We got him out of
was.
high school. He went to like the.
Facts.
He needed to develop a little bit better.
If we had him that year when Jeff Green was the star of our team, he would have been a superstar.
Yeah.
So that's three right there. Who we got? But I do love Tony Allen.
Okay.
Not on the list.
He's on my list now.
Yeah.
Tony Allen. And then that last spot's not going to be Paul Pierce.
Come on.
It's not. I didn't think about Paul Pierce once when I was making
I
my
am
list.
Paul Pierce. He's one of the greatest Celtics of all time.
He is. So is Larry Bird and Bill Russell, but this is my favorite. This wasn't the
Yeah,
question.
it's
question was
my
favorite.
favorite.
That's
my
fair.
favorite
It
players.
is fair. In that case.
It is crazy because I kind of want to say Ray, but at the same time I don't. But
Why not?
I will go with Ray because I feel like when you have a list, you think, oh, this is my five, and then someone says something name like, wait a minute,
Oh, you mean every top five we ever did? Every episode?
But you guys all said the names. I'm like, that's not the names I want to put over Ray Allen.
Yeah, when we did the top 50, it's
It's
like.
like favorite. It's not like we
He's
were
my
ranking
favorite.
them all time.
Exactly,
as
but-
Celtics. Yeah,
True.
Let's say if you were just talking, I said Marcus Banks, and you loved it before. Like, oh my God, Marcus Banks! I love Marcus Banks. See, that's the situation. But I'll go with Ray Allen.
Okay.
I'll go with
Okay.
that.
All right.
I'll go with Ray Allen.
So we mentioned
Kevin McHale as like six man.
Ray Allen. Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale. Chauncey Billups was six man.
This post game
Chauncey
was
Billups played
amazing.
35 minutes.
I just want to give y'all a
Chauncey
lot,
Billups,
lot
Joe
of props
Johnson.
for not mentioning Brian Scalabrine.
I
like-
was
mention-
really
Y'all
know
would've
what's
gone
crazy,
there.
though?
I was really hoping no one would say it.
No.
I was not going to mention
No.
it.
You know what's crazy? Like people loved him, but I really didn't care for him.
Thank you.
I didn't like him because people loved him. I
I
was like, dude,
hated him.
this dude is not
didn't hate
good.
him.
White Mamba. No.
Especially when that nickname came out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not like him.
He's just
Luka's the white mamba.
He's,
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
doing great now as a personality and as to call games. He's doing great. I love him.
That's
there.
why he like
He just
sticks.
looks
where
like a
you
Celtic.
became.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, but I hated the fact that love translated to Chicago. Like, why do y'all love him? He's not. He's a leprechaun. But we're here.
So we have Manny Cruz here, not just to speak about sports, but he, I think you're running for office or something like that. Something
Yeah, that's
weird.
right.
Tell us about it. Tell us
So
about
let us
it.
know. I think the job description's in the name state rep, but just give us a little like what does the job entitle, and after that maybe just pull it in like how'd you get your start in politics and
Oh, yeah.
not to just politics for half an hour, but
Absolutely. I can be succinct, unlike other politicians. So,
Wow, that was a
Yo,
good
this
word.
man and his words.
You got a good vocabulary.
succinct.
ooh, I like that one.
I'll look it up after this.
If I say concise,
Yeah.
does that help?
I got that one. I like that one.
No, I
I like the
understood it.
first one,
I
but I know what
understood
concise means.
So a state representative. So let's talk about who they represent.
Yep.
They represent up to 40,000 people in Massachusetts. Y'all remember the three branches of government on the federal side? Congress, the courts, and the executive branch. It's the same thing in Massachusetts because we actually modeled the Constitution after what we had in place here in Massachusetts. So we have what's called the Massachusetts legislature, which has two chambers, just like the federal level. It has the House of Representatives and the Senate. We also have the Supreme Judicial Court. And then we have the governor, who's the chief executive for the state. So every state representative represents about 40,000 people here in Massachusetts. And there's 160 of them. And I am running to be the state representative of Salem. And if you think about the population of Salem, which is about 48,000 people, that fits neatly into that 40,000. And so I would only represent Salem. It's the 7th Essex District. And I'm running in a 3-way primary to actually succeed my former boss, State Representative Paul Tucker.
Shout out Paul Tucker.
Some of y'all might remember him. He was the chief of police and a captain.
Was.
And his son, Danny.
Tucker, shout out.
If you went to the Forest River Pool, you know who that is.
Salem track superstar.
Exactly. So, and what a state representative does is they actually put forward legislation, bills that change our state laws, and they also advocate for budgets. So Massachusetts has a $49 billion budget that goes towards things like healthcare, education, public transit, all of those great things. And some people might be wondering, like, what does he mean? What is a bill? What is legislation? So I came with an example that I thought would be relevant for the show.
Yeah.
This guy.
You guys might be interested in this. Right now in Massachusetts, the House of Representatives has passed a bill to legalize sports betting.
Let's go!
Why was that so loud?
I'm excited.
That's a big deal.
Degenerates.
That's a big deal.
I'm excited.
Because how big it is.
I'm tired of driving to New Hampshire,
Massachusetts is huge in sports in general.
My left ear is gone.
Sorry.
Let's go.
So
I got really excited.
So if you saw what I just did there, I found a way to make politics in this role very relevant for you, because a lot of people ask me, like, what did they do? That is the kind of thing that we can put forward for Massachusetts. Now, why am I running for state representative? So number one, I have the experience. So I worked on Beacon Hill for 4 years. I'm a member of the Salem School Committee, where I proudly serve our children and families, and I'm the first Afro-Latino to ever be a school committee member. That's right. Yes. And the first vice chair of the school committee. So I'm second on the pecking order when it comes to the leadership on the school committee, and I'm only 30. So
Tell him. Talk that talk.
And right now, in my day job, I work at an organization called Latinos for Education. I'm our statewide advocacy director, and our organization is focusing on trying to get more Latinos to become educators and into educational leadership, because right now in Massachusetts, about 22% of our students identify as Latino, but only 3% of superintendents, teachers, etc. identify the same.
That's so true, because I don't really remember.
I don't think I've ever had a Spanish teacher.
Having Spanish
other than
teachers.
like Spanish language,
True, unless it was like a Spanish
My
class.
Spanish language teacher was from France.
Cool.
Right.
So you get that, right?
I never really thought about it like that, but like I never had any Hispanic teachers really in high school or elementary, middle school.
Sam's a
I counted all my teachers from K to 12. Out of my 53 teachers, 3 of them.
Wow.
3 of them were Latino. 3 of them. And they were all Spanish teachers.
Wow.
Right? But when you went into that classroom, at first it was a little bit of resistance, because it's like being in class with your mom.
Yeah.
Like you go in there, like you put your head down, they yell at you, and like it's a little back and forth. But then over time in that Spanish class, it was like affirming your culture, your food, your language, right? And you had opportunities to explore like who you were. And when I think about like what my Latina teachers did for me, they really gave me a classroom that was like a safe space to be with my fellow Latinos in the classroom, and to not just talk about like Latinos in arts and culture, but also like all the great things that the countries we come from have in place.
Oh, right.
So that's what I do for a day job, right? So I focus on statewide advocacy. We push for legislation around diversifying the educator pipeline, trying to create more pathways for our students, specifically our Latino students, to be exposed to college earlier. And then also I advocate for things like closing the digital divide for the Latino community. So when I talk about my experience, right, I've been working for the last 10 years in public policy, in government, in nonprofits, trying to improve Massachusetts for people that look like us, but for all residents. And because I have that experience, I know what these issues are in Salem that people care about. We're a coastal community. We got to be focused on climate change. A lot of people don't know what this is, but we're a climate justice community. That means that the people that look like you and me, we are going to be the most disproportionately impacted by when this climate changes. So when the rising seas start happening, storms get more intense. Where's the Point neighborhood located?
Right next to the ocean.
Right next to the ocean. Who are the first people that are going to be displaced when there's a Category 4 storm that hits the Point?
No. That'll be us.
That'll be us. That'll be us. And when you look at the general map of where people of color are located, they're usually next to industrial sites and or places that pollute. And we have higher rates of asthma, higher rates of obesity. We are more likely to die from our environmental factors. So when I talk about why I want to push for climate change policies, right, that would reverse what we're seeing, it's because it's going to impact our community first.
Yeah.
Right.
The second thing that drives me to run is education.
Yeah.
I think about my experience being an opportunity youth, someone who slipped through the cracks, and if not for interventions that I had, I know that you guys had my friends Dre and Jonelle on last week, right? Without people like Dre, who saw me outside of the school and really built me up as a leader, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. But every kid deserves that in their public education system. Absolutely. So when we talk about reforming public education, it starts with pre-K. We got to have universal pre-K. Every single kid who's below the age of 4 needs to be exposed to schooling and learning and play and socialization. And that's something that doesn't happen for our community. And it's usually limited by the number of seats that we can offer. But there's a bill right now that I'm supporting called the Common Start legislation that would create more opportunities for high quality pre-K in our state. When it comes to K through 12 education, there's something that I really care about, and it's the trades. Like, our people are not represented in the trades. They're not represented in unions. And that is a ladder for economic mobility and prosperity. And so I'm actually working on a bill that would reduce some of the admission standards for the career voc tech schools, which are actually harder to get into now than they were 30 years ago.
Hell yeah.
You can't get into Essex Tech anymore.
Yo, I'm trying to get my son. We're praying.
Really?
Praying to get it's tough. Before that was just an option. Like, yeah, I can go there. Now no more.
That's right. The kids are
That's what he wants to do. He wants to go to tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might want to go there, but the kids that are actually getting into the tech, they're getting in for academics. And even though they're doing the shop, if you look at the data on where they go afterwards, they go straight to college.
Yeah.
They're not going to the trades. They're not going to union jobs. But I got guys from the union that I work with in my day job that they're telling me right now, if you pass a union apprenticeship program, guess how much you can start at? $40 an hour.
Wow.
How old you gotta be?
I'll change my career right now.
We'll talk. But they're looking to diversify these labor unions, but also trades in general. So there's a real opportunity to think about that with the Biden infrastructure bill that recently came out. So that's something that I'm focused on. And then the last piece is like the recovery from this pandemic. Like I think about it's huge. Absolutely.
Right, people don't
huge.
realize it.
People still haven't recovered. They haven't made it back to work. People still dealing with childcare, transportation. Like you talk about getting from point A to point B right now, filling up that tank. There's real pain. Real pain.
Tell me about it.
I might have to call out from work tomorrow.
Can't make it. Gas too high.
Gas too high. Waiting for payday.
And so one of the things that I'm an advocate for is actually modernizing our public transportation system. So number one, that starts with trains. We got to electrify the rail. We got to get more people that are going into Boston to stop driving because the traffic is bad enough, and that's bad for our environment. But that means that we need more reliable service, more frequent service. And in Salem specifically, there's a project that I was working on when I was in Paul's office, which was to create a Salem South Station stop. So right now, you can only get on the train if you go to downtown. If you had a South Station stop right where Salem State University and North Shore Medical Center meet, that would be the most equitable thing
Yeah.
That would be dope.
That would be.
for the city.
Yeah.
Because you think about the people that have last mile transportation challenges that need to go to places like Lynn, Chelsea, Boston for services, for work, for medical care, and then vice versa, those people that need to come from Boston, Chelsea, et cetera, to go to Salem State University or to the medical center for work. I mean, that would just create so many more economic mobility opportunities. But then also, like right now, the state is actually incentivizing building affordable housing around transit. So with that project, not only would we address last mile transportation challenges, we would also address those housing needs that we have in our community, which are crazy right now.
Right.
So that's what I'm running for. Those are some of the things that I would prioritize. I mean, you asked me how I got started. I was inspired.
Politics. You always were a leader. Yo, mind you, you know what was so special about you? It's like, right, especially like when we were on YS.
We could transition to YS if we want.
You were just getting into really bad. You played basketball, but you weren't as good as you are now. When in the beginning, but you were the best leader, and right away it was like clear captain. Put him captain.
Put the C on his chest right now.
And this man was a big reason we got to the championship. Your leadership, it really
And look,
It really
and
showed.
it clearly translated.
And you improved a lot as a player in that time too.
Yeah, so that's really where I got my start. So I'm glad that we're doing that transition. It did start with, first I had to learn to lead myself.
Yeah.
So like that was the first thing. Like I was going through my challenges in life, and I had people that were pouring into me, investing in me, telling me, Manny, you've got great potential. You just need to apply yourself. And so at the Boys and Girls Club, when we was doing YS, that was really the first time that like I was spending a lot more time with my peers, but then we were also doing things that nobody was doing at that time.
Yeah, right.
Right? Civic engagement. We were volunteering. We were giving back. Dre
doing
had
a
us
lot.
mentoring some of the younger people.
Right.
And that inspired me, right, to realize that I could have an impact on people in my community. And then, like, once you piece that together and things started turning around, I remember with our team, right, like, we all started seeing a change in like who we were as people.
When you look back, when looking at everybody from that team, we've all grown so much, and it really helped. It's one thing I learned in life from a lot of people lack that working as a team. Like I noticed working in
Anywhere.
and yeah, right.
To buy into the system.
It's just like because I apply everything to basketball, just because it's like my template of like, but a lot of people never experience like developing those team skills. So I feel like that really made a difference being in YS.
Yeah, and that was big. That was big, and I think the other piece was right around the same time that we were playing. That was when Barack first ran for president. So
Yeah.
for many of us, that was the first time that we saw someone who looked like us.
That mattered.
That had similar experiences. Like for him to grow up with a single mom and to do all the things that he did, go on to college, become a lawyer, right? The president of his law review, that really mattered.
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
that. And then to see the way that people gravitated towards him. And it was the way he talked about government and what government could be when we brought people together. So when you talk about team, it was never about Barack, right? He didn't make it about himself. It was about, I'm going to build a team. And when you think about like the tentacles of Barack Obama, the people that he's inspired to run for public office, the organizations that he's launched, like he really has been instrumental in a lot of people of color believing that they can run for higher office. So he was the inspiration, but then I got to give credit to Governor Deval Patrick. He was our first African-American governor. I got appointed to his statewide youth council, and that's when I got to see his leadership up close.
Yeah.
Right. So that happened when I was 18 years old, my first year of college, and seeing his leadership up close, that really solidified for me that I could do this. Because when you could see it, you could believe it.
I remember Dre taking us to the college you ended up going to. Because he would always take us to visit so many different colleges, and that's what we need more of too. Like people that would go out of their way to do that for kids in the community. But like, was it Northeastern?
Northeastern, that's right.
Salute.
And I graduated with honors.
There
we go.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
All right. But before we move on, you played with this guy on the YS team, correct? You got to give me a story, something. I don't know if you heard Dre's story. I don't know if you could beat Dre's story because Dre's story was wild.
I'm gonna have to watch that back. But all right, let me get some thought.
It was the one with
So I want to start with love first. I'm gonna tell you something.
It doesn't have
about,
to be a negative story. It could be a positive story.
I'm gonna give you like Ariel was probably the hardest working guy on the team. Like he didn't have to be the fastest. Like he just did everything well. So when we were like watching film back, Dre would always point out what Ariel was doing. Every play, making it back on defense. He'd box out, he'd rebound, handle the ball, take shots. Like you really did it all for that team. And yeah, we played 2 years together, man, and it was a beautiful like experience to watch you grow from that 15 and under to the 18 and under year, and to make it to the chip. Like we were real close. So that's where I'm gonna start with love. I'm gonna start with love. Now, my favorite, like, so first of all, like people have to understand, like. Some people have heard the rumors about like what it was to be in the dungeon.
That's what we called it. It was like literally like the heat was on. We were in the basement.
Yeah.
The ceilings were low.
Boys and Girls Club gym?
Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club gym.
Scoonie Penn, that's where he got the, The line drive shot that he had. It was from the club.
You had to.
Wow,
He
yeah.
had to.
That's funny.
Yeah, he got asked when he was playing.
I was actually pretty good shooting there too, even though it was
You
so
were,
low.
from the corner.
Yeah, for so low ceiling.
And so we used to do all kinds of crazy stuff with Dre that I don't think anybody was doing at that time in Salem when it came to like working out for ball.
Right.
But I remember like Dre used to make us do some things that were just like out there for us. Like when we were not like passing the ball with strength, this dude would bring a medicine ball to practice. And he would make us like pass the ball at each other. And like when we say pass, I mean like we were gunning it at each other, going hard. And I remember there was the ceilings in the dungeon were very low. So there was one drill you could only do from like the edge of the court. And like I don't remember who threw the ball at Ariel, but all of them, they threw it up. And you're supposed to catch it. It would pop. Hit him in the head.
Yeah, Ariel did mention that one too.
I'm pretty sure
Concussion.
you had a concussion.
Yeah. Concussed for months. I had headaches for months because of that situation. Remember the next day I fainted? Like we were running laps and
So I crashed into him and I thought I killed him.
that's what we did though. We would always run laps hard, but we would just like bump it cars, like boom, boom, up into the
Go strong in the paint. You're gonna bump into guys when you play basketball. It's a contact sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of like my all-time favorite moments because it was just hilarious.
Yeah, it was though. It
Like,
was,
looking back.
concussion.
yeah, my first ever concussion was crazy.
Yeah, but other than that, it was like the whole season watching Ariel like transform into like really you were like our best player. Like
I really appreciate that. Oh,
yeah,
right.
he was. He was. You think about when our season turned around, it was remember we were in the gym and Dre started talking about what everybody's role in the team was?
Yeah. We all
remember that?
came together. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he picked us.
Sometimes you need to have that conversation. That's a
Yeah.
difficult conversation.
It's like when
Sometimes
everybody's rolling.
We're young guys, so not when you think you're that guy, and he tells you like, "Yo, you're not that guy." And it's hard for people who still can still succeed and play well at the level in the role that they're not used to playing.
And we were 500 at that time when he did that activity.
Right,
with
that really
us.
helped.
And we won out, and then made it right to the chip, and we were an overtime away from actually to bringing it home.
Yeah, we would always like the team that we start off slow and we'd always make a comeback.
Very familiar to our Boston Celtics team.
Yeah,
this
we were
year.
kind of like similar to the Celtics in some way.
If Big
really
did
what
not get hurt,
Yeah.
that was the thing that happened. Tip off in overtime.
Yeah, he ended up rolling his ankle.
Rolled his ankle.
Happened to D-Mac and ours.
Yeah. And Shawnee made the game win, the game tying shot.
Gotta tape up those ankles.
Yeah. I had a headache. I had a bad game that game. I was still a little concussed.
That was the concussion already. So we've reached my favorite part of the show. The DJ Bofka set of questions.
Hey.
DJ Bofka.
So a pretty simple game. I give you two choices, one or the other, A or B.
Red pill, blue pill, like the Matrix. Just it's easy. Pick
Pretty
one.
much.
Please just pick one.
Yeah, don't pick
People
don't
do
pick an
that.
orange pill. Don't pick a purple pill.
People have done that. Look at me like it's weird.
You'll be like,
People have
oh,
done that.
A or B, and they'll be like, what about C
Like,
or
no,
D?
no C, A or B.
The options were A or B.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got you.
Sometimes it's not as simple as
Yeah.
you would think so, right?
Some people need media training. I see what
Media
you're saying.
training. Definitely media training.
What about?
Yeah. So first question is always the same. Jordan or LeBron?
It's got to be Michael Jordan.
Oh, thank you, God. I was worried for a little bit. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. That you just got my vote.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? But my vote was contingent on all that stuff about the community was great. But I needed to know if you were Jordan or
Am I getting out
LeBron.
of bed to vote for Manny on September 6th?
September 6th, yep.
September 6th.
Okay.
September
Oh,
6th.
we'll repeat that a bunch of times. We'll have it
September
when we
6th.
post it. We'll
It definitely depended on this answer.
Yes. So you got our vote, buddy. Paul Pierce or Jalen Brown?
Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Why
Is he the
Brown?
truth?
Like
Well,
Tatum.
that was before. I was gonna say Chip. That was before he
Yeah, it's off. I
went on around about Paul Pierce. I
understand.
didn't know that when I wrote the question.
That's fair.
I can't tell the future. Tacos or burritos?
Got to be tacos.
Really? I had a burrito the other day. It was very good, but very messy.
That's
Yeah, the
that's what tacos
burrito
are.
I'm winning this dying competition.
They don't have like a burrito
Do you notice all the stuff
Thursday.
he's eating? He's eating burritos. Didn't you talk about eating McDonald's a couple days ago? Wendy's. We're winning. I'm with two soda cans.
Taco
A day.
Tuesday, pull up, like
Soft tacos or hard tacos?
tacos.
Okay, you know, some people
I
say
like
soft
soft
tacos.
tacos.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I mean,
soft
unless you're like in the western part of the country, and then
You're a wild individual if you eat hard tacos on the regular.
tacos. What?
Really?
Really?
I didn't think
so.
that, but I don't like hard tacos.
I just think it's a preference. I didn't think it was
right.
I think it's like,
wow,
crazy.
bro.
Like if you prefer that
crunch, you're
yeah,
wild.
and then the shell collapses.
I see that. I see where you're going.
It's like a Taco Bell situation.
yeah, right.
Brady or Belichick?
Brady.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
I gotta stump you on one of these.
Yeah, right.
Like Family Feud. Good answer.
Good answer. Good answer. Let's see if it's on the board. Ding. 4th of July or Labor Day?
4th of July.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't even like 4th of July like that, to be honest with you.
You like Labor
July's
Day?
always a good time.
I mean,
You like Labor Day
4th of
more?
July you got more diversity. Like you could be
What
a
is
pool
honest-
party, barbecue,
But what is honestly the difference other than fireworks? Because you're having a cookout regardless.
the weather.
This September could be nice.
It could be, but
But Labor Day is not independence. You know what I'm saying? America's.
Oh well.
it's got 4th of July's got more range. That's what I would say.
All right.
Fireworks and everything. Everybody gets together, celebration.
America.
Nobody gets
Red,
together.
white, blue.
Celebrates Labor Day with fireworks and as a
could.
city. You could as a city.
They have a parade.
Labor Day is like, don't get me wrong, very important because
important.
again, we're paying homage to those people that fought for worker protections, worker rights, but
All right. All right.
against the 4th,
4th is like at the end. It's coming soon.
I'm gonna stump you on one of these. If he
July.
makes it through these questions easy,
He wins.
I don't know. We have
he
no
wins.
prizes, so
No prizes, but you win my respect.
sancocho or mango.
sancocho.
How was that quick? Of
Yeah, I don't know.
what questions that you can ask on the campaign trail that these are becoming easy? I know nobody asked you sancocho or mango.
Someone did.
Someone did.
My entire life, my mom, ¿qué tú quieres comer? Sancocho, mango.
Literally.
Sancocho.
He's been preparing
That
forever.
makes sense.
That
makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Y'all ever have any Dominicans on the show?
Yo, all the
We had a
time.
whole
too.
Dominican
So-
Independence episode.
Yeah, so Betty.
Oh,
I
my-
actually
one of my
love that
I eat
favorites.
mango.
Who's
I eat mango a lot.
I think it's my
love
favorite
mango.
episode. Not knocking anybody else's episode. That might be my favorite, but I just had mad fun doing
Yeah, I
it.
had a
love
good time
mango.
with the Sammy Sosa jersey and the flag.
I'm still not happy with Sammy Sosa, but whatever. World Cup or Summer Olympics?
Summer Olympics because there's basketball.
Yeah. Can't stop him.
I'm trying. I'm looking at my questions like, all right, made me think something else. So, somebody's coming up and saying,
I'm gonna stump him.
MMA or boxing?
Boxing.
Wow,
Okay.
I'm surprised.
He's a never mind. Go on. He's a historian, but doesn't. No, whatever.
A
Next.
boxing historian?
Yeah, but that's not what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Whatever you were going for there, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson.
I went to the,
Yeah.
I went to the Ali
Good.
Museum in Louisville. If you're ever some reason in Louisville, you have to
For
check
any
that out.
reason.
For any,
I believe it gave you the chills.
It did. It's a very good museum. It was a very good time. If you ever,
That's definitely on my to-do list.
yeah, if you ever go to
But
Louisville.
then again, I'm never gonna really go to Louisville.
I really like. You want to ever go to
This is in
The
Kentucky.
NBA Hall of Fame, I really liked a lot. I used to always.
and
go
that's
there.
and I haven't been there since I was a kid, and that's only like 2 hours away.
Let's go. Springfield though.
Let's go on an 806 field trip.
Yeah.
Field trip to-
Funded by
Hey,
Vibe.
I'm gonna speak it into existence. 806 Roadshow one day.
At the
Hall of Fame.
That would be special.
That would be so good.
That'd be
I would
dope.
love it.
I would love it.
So the little
I'm
basketball
actually.
hoop and dunk.
Are we in the Hall of Fame? We won a tournament there, didn't we? A 2-on-2.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'm in the Hall of
we
Fame.
might be. We might be on.
I
there.
might be in the NBA Hall of Fame. I don't know how long they keep those records because that might have been like 98 or 99, but I was there.
Hey, y'all might be
Yo,
in
we were there the weekend Larry Bird was inducted.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that
We went to
was.
Six Flags.
That's dope.
And then obviously we went to Six Flags, just 5 minutes away from there.
That's what you do when you go to the Hall of Fame. You go to Six Flags.
Or if you go to Six
So I
Flags,
tried to tell my son, I was like, yo, I'm going to take you to Six Flags. He's like, word. I'm like, but we got to stop at NBA Hall of Fame. And that's why I lost him.
Like, come on.
I'm like, you play basketball. I was like, in my head, I was like, you're just gonna complain to me the whole time.
Like, I'm in the Hall of
Don't
Fame.
ruin this for me.
It's my childhood.
I mean, I said Six Flags, but this is kind of a nice segue. Can it be Lake or Water Country?
Can it be Lake?
Okay,
Why are you answering me so easily, Manny?
Can it be
I know.
Lake?
I had more as a child. I had more memories at Water Country.
Me too.
Yeah, well, we won Water Country a lot more.
So
than
I used to
Lake.
send the both set of questions to these guys, and if that was still going on, I'd be like, someone slipped you the questions. But no one saw these questions but me. So why?
I've seen these questions.
No, I know no one has.
He's like prepared.
Unless you have my
prepared to
phone.
answer. He has them on her.
Yo, you know what? You know what's funny that you said that? We had a debate for this race that I'm in, and I was so well prepared for the debate that one of my opponents was like, "Did they have the questions in advance?"
I'm with him because it seems like you had the questions, but I can attest that no one else saw these questions but me.
I have no idea what the questions are.
No.
Yeah.
Because then when I used to send it to you guys had to answer
Lake.
and do your options, and I didn't want your feedback.
Not rude.
No, not a both set of questions. You know, everything else, of course.
Still, Cape Lake is still shocking to me.
It is kind of shocking to me, but
But you had different experience. So,
you know what I assume is because I feel like all Dominicans love Water Country.
Water country, water country.
To be honest with you,
When I
the
was
song is
having
like
some
60% of the reason I love the
son,
But
place.
anytime we were there, you'd always run into another fellow Dominican from Salem.
Yeah,
in their whole family.
In their whole family.
In their whole family, a bunch of kids in blue shirts. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Burgers or hot dogs?
Burgers.
Okay,
Yeah, burgers.
That's definitely not gonna stop him. I don't think it stops anybody. I don't
The
think
funny thing
anybody
is
would
that, like, I'm not going to stump him because the last one was a layup for him. So we're not going to stump him. So, Manny, you're the first
Democrats.
person. Yes. The last question is going to be Democrats or Republicans.
How'd you know that?
I said it before. I said it before.
No, this man has the answers.
You gonna answer it before you ask
all the
it?
answers.
No, we had a pre-camera conversation.
He has the answers.
So you do pick Democrats because you, of course, are.
Yeah, I am running as a Democrat. We should be very clear. The other side right now is very lost.
Very
Okay.
If you
lost.
think about what we saw on January 6th
Oh, Lord.
through the Trump presidency,
Oh, Lord.
what's happening in the Supreme Court right now between Roe v. Wade being overturned, right? They're talking.
I remember being in school and like them saying that like there's no way that's ever like gonna be overturned, and now we're in 2022,
A lot of things have
and now
changed.
half of our states,
A lot of things
almost
are
like
getting
half
weird.
of our states, abortion is illegal right now.
Right. And it's only going to get worse because they've already put out some concurrent opinions. They're talking about they're going to go after the right to privacy. The right to privacy has established everything from marriage equality, same-sex marriage, interracial marriage. And then, let's not forget, there's the elephant in the room. How far back do they want to go? They're talking about original intent, what the founders intended. That means they're going to go after the 14th Amendment, right? And
Yikes.
all the cases that came from it. Brown versus Board of Education. They're going to be able to justify segregation. You want to know how I know they're doing that? Because they just said that you can fund religious schools with public dollars. Yeah, that was one of the Supreme Court cases. So when you ask me Democrats or Republicans, going to be Democrats.
Jeez. You know, like Trump's thing reminded me of like, you know, like in Batman when, you know, when like the penguin became the mayor.
The recent one?
No.
Danny
DeVito. Yeah, it's
Oh
kinda-
yeah, Batman Returns.
when he beat
Penguin always becomes mayor. That's like a thing. That's like a thing in Batman.
It's just like,
Oswald.
yeah, let's get Oswald out of fucking office.
Right. So we didn't do it last episode or whatever episode you're listening to, but we're doing this. I got the sports quote to end the episode. Here's a sports quote from the late great Kobe Bean Bryant. It's kind of we were talking about teamwork, so I feel like this.
Work.
make the dream work.
All right, excuse my language on this quote. We'll bleep it out if we have to. There's no I in team, but there's a me in that motherfucker.
Shout out Kobe.
Shout out Kobe.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Rest in
I
peace,
know.
Kobe. I got a couple other shout outs. Shout out P2P basketball starting Friday, and please look out for the schedule. It's a great basketball tournament. It's going to be happening all summer. Shout out to Koki. Shout out to everybody involved. Shout out Sweat for Sweat is coming back. We got a tentative date of August 27th. If y'all are interested, please sign up. I believe it's going to be at Collins Middle School, the tournament. I'm not too 100% sure.
Shout out Sweat.
Shout out Sweat. We love you, Sweat. Shout out Smoothie for You. The Cuzzo got some smoothies coming. He got a full menu coming. A bunch of food. I heard some kind of sandwich he's gonna make. It's making me already hungry. I already have my order in.
Smoothies was good.
They're delicious.
Definitely. And last shout out for a couple of two guys in the studio with us. Shout out the Nerd Gods. Shout out these guys.
Yeah.
Nerd Gods podcast will be coming out soon. Definitely look out for that. This has been another episode of 806 The Show. We want to thank the future state representative of Salem, Massachusetts, Manny Cruz, for joining us.
Let's get him in office. Let's go.
Let's get him. Go out there. When can we vote? Where? When?
September 6th.
September 6th. Not the 5th. Not the 4th. September 6th.
Okay.
All right. Baby.
I'll be there.
I'm Melly Mel. This is my co-host RG, co-host Sanchez. We will see you next week. Holla at your boy.
Take that. Shut up, Manny Cruz.
Fire. 806 The Show is a proud member of the Vibe Entertainment family, so make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as Facebook and the Gram. Leave us some comments. Hit us with some likes. Show us some love. You already know. It's 806 The Show.
806 The Show, Take that. 806 The Show.